Oh, let's see if we can figure this out. What is going on, All Terrain Nation? Whether it be two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, you know the drill. It does not matter. Well, sometimes it matters what you drive. If I got Kelly near me because I have to fight her for the keys of the Bronco. But this is your All Terrain Nation, and I'm your host David Boyd alongside Kelly. And we've got a what? Boyd. I'm sorry. No, this is somebody I found off the street. I think they know us by now. They know you're.
You said David Boyd, so I went ahead and just jumped in and made sure that knew it was.
Well, hopefully you guys can hear Kelly. I think the cat or something's monkeyed with my settings there.
Can hear me.
But we've got a fun show tonight. We've got a couple things. We've got Bird Dog Overland on. So I don't know if you've seen their channel yet or not. You're definitely going to want to check it out because he has probably currently my dream Bronco, the setup that he's running.
I don't know that our viewers know what your dream Bronco would be.
Well, because we're not gonna talk about that at the moment. But then we're gonna talk about these ADV Bronco hardtops because I'd warned people that the pricing on these things was going to be
not
pretty, and people are like, oh no, well Ford only charges $600 for their tops, and I was like, yeah, but that's on top of the price that you've already paid for the soft top. Add $600 more to that. And it's still a bargain because when they sell these tops to you, it's going to be when Ford sells them, it's going to be expensive. So, but we're going to save that for a little bit. But first off, we got a bunch in the house, Kelly. Who all do we have in the house right now?
Oh, you caught me off guard.
I did.
We have got Mobile Moto, Brent Berryman. Got lots of members in the house tonight. Greg Lawson, Cigar Texan.
Ooh, we got some classics in here.
Dirk Connor.
I talked to Dirk earlier during the Bronco Nation stream.
Bronco 78 in the house. Let's see. We've got G. Willikers in the house.
Well, geez.
Oh, G. Willikers.
Oh, geez, Rick.
Oh, my. Now we're going. Brian Slick, welcome in
and
the
Peugeot
house.
is in the house. Welcome
and
back,
Peugeot.
Sir.
Mark King. Let's see. I'm just going. Nurse AJ, hello this evening.
Once again, we got a classic.
Tim Cornay. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, but it's closer than Dave.
I was going to say, luckily Kelly did it and not me.
You've got Honest Smith in the house.
Ooh.
Welcome, sir.
Airplane Mike in here.
Airplane Mike. Thank you. Overlanding for fun with Tim.
I would say overlanding for fun, but he'll somehow turn that into a 4-hour conversation.
That is true.
In the chats. But
that is true. You've got Blueford.
Blueford got his Bronco.
I know. I'm so excited.
Congratulations, sir.
Eric Jefferson. Red Setter Farm in the house. Chris Wolf.
Oh, and I seen somebody, I think it was Eric, just talked
Michael
about being pushed back. We're going to discuss that in a little bit too.
Jason Boyd, welcome in. Michael Stewart.
We got Valley Dude.
Nathan Cross.
We got a bunch of good ones.
Valley Dude 5000. Jessica Dunn.
The viewers keep going up, so we could be here all night.
I know we could. Carrie. We're almost caught up. Hold on.
All right.
Shocker Racing.
What's up?
Welcome. Chris Barr. Da Vinci.
Oh, we got Bronco Wild Outdoors. We got
Bronco
Dwayne.
Wild Outdoors. And I think I'm caught up. If I missed you. Oh, Devin Heritage and Kevin Hess and Jeff Black. Hey, welcome in the house.
All right, but let's do this. Let's bring in our guest. And Kelly, introduce our guest here.
We have Jody with Bird Dog Overland. Welcome to the show.
Thank you guys for having me.
Of course, man. First off, you're in Chicago. So how is the weather in Chicago?
It's pretty bad. It's like the highs are in the 20s. I think we've seen above freezing maybe 2 or 3 times in the last 3 weeks. And
I'm so glad.
Barely.
I'm so glad we were supposed to be up there for the Chicago Auto Show this week. And I'm kind of glad that that didn't happen.
Jeffrey Babb, welcome to membership. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much for joining. And I'm only going to say this once, but guys, the membership stuff, when you help our channel with that, it's like $5 a month or something. It's not. I try to keep it cheap, but that just helps fund like better streams that you're seeing now. So and helps us get, if we were going to be at the Chicago Auto Show, it would have helped probably some hot hands, those little things you open up in them packages and put in your pockets.
For sure.
Because Chicago's cold. But thank you so much for doing that. And anyways, I'm sorry, sir.
It popped in early.
Yeah. But so cold. And I know we were right before the pandemic hit. We were at the auto show, and
literally
I remember
February of 2020.
I remember getting off the plane. We were at I can't think of the airport.
Midway.
And we were going out to the was it the L? I think we
were riding the L.
Yeah,
he still hasn't figured out the verbiage yet. So we flew into Midway, And then we took the L
But
to McCormick
I
Center.
remember though that being, I've always heard you guys deal with cold winds coming off of like the Michigan and all that.
And
But
we didn't even really go up Michigan Avenue too much until it was sunny and like 55, but it felt like 30.
but it was ridiculous just getting from the airport to the train, man. How do you guys deal with
Yes.
this up there?
Well, we stay indoors as much as possible. I'll tell you one thing, that when I bought the Bronco, the biggest thing I checked off on was that cold weather package with that heated steering wheel and those heated seats.
Oh, yeah.
And remote start. I use those every day.
You knew it. You knew what you needed.
I'm spoiled here in the South with the automatic starts and stuff. So yeah, you guys, it has to be a must, right?
Yeah, and keep in mind, I'm originally from Tennessee, lived there for 33 years, and I lived in Dallas, Texas for 9 years. I've only lived in Chicago about 5. So it's taken me quite a while. You can probably tell from the accent, but it's taken me quite a while to get acclimated to this cold weather. It's something else.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna let you guys keep the cold. I'm from Ohio, and luckily I moved when I was really, really young. So I claim Ohio, but it's only claiming it really. I'm really kind of I hate to say like a Southern boy, but I kind of am.
I lived in Michigan longer than he lived in Ohio. I was there till I was like 20, and then I moved to Tennessee. So
that's why she's so cold to me, you guys in the chat.
I'm
Everybody in the chat. That's why she's so cold to me. So all the violence, you see where it's going now. But so let's start off with your Bronco. What did you get? When did you reserve it? Give us the details.
So you're all going to hate me quite a bit because kind of a little backstory about this. I had the 4Runner out in Moab last April, and we went to Hell's Gate, me and a couple of my Toyota friends, and or Hell's Revenge, and we were near Hell's Gate. Well, here come Lauren Healy and Von Gittin Jr. in their Broncos.
Okay.
So that kind of got the bug started. And this was just past April, so this wasn't even a full year ago. Then they did a condensed version of the Chicago Auto Show last summer, where they had the test track where you couldn't drive, but you rode around with one of the Ford people. And that kind of sealed the deal for me. I had a trip to Ouray in August, and right before I left, I did my reservation, paid $100. The Schomburg Ford called me up. That's who I had who I picked as my dealer. Did the order right before I left. Did the reservation July 20th of this year. Did the order I think the 6th or 7th of August. And 4 months later, I'm picking it up at the dealership.
Wow.
So yeah, like I said, I'm gonna get a lot of hate for that. Trust me, it's not, because I'll be honest with you. when I ordered it, the dealer even told me, it's probably gonna be a year and a half.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I got my 4Runner built pretty good. I'll just keep trucking along in it and have some fun in it. And when it happens, it happens. But the dealer didn't come out and say it, but they kind of hinted to it that maybe that they probably plugged me in on somebody else's cancellation. I don't know if that's even doable, but they kind of hinted at that because I made a comment about, man, I didn't have to wait long at all. And he's like, oh no, we did. So I don't know. That's what I gathered from that, but I don't know if that's true. But yeah, I've seen some other people get theirs in a quick turnaround time. And of course, I feel sorry for the people who were day one reservations, ordered theirs back in January of last year, and still haven't even heard anything, or even worse yet, they're frustrated with their vehicles sitting on Ice Mountain. But I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, it happened. And
right. Well, it's not like you threw some guy $100 bill extra and it's like, hey, make sure this happens, which I'm sure has happened in some cases because, there were VIP orders.
Yeah, and I did. I paid MSRP just like most people did.
Nice.
Special deals.
Well, what did you end up getting?
I got the Badlands 21 model year Badlands with Sasquatch and Lux and tow package.
Oh, nice.
So all those things that were supposed to hold you back.
Yeah.
Other than the hardtop, which is ironically is I had just emailed the dealer about converting my order to hardtop because I knew it was going to be a while anyway, and that's when they had first announced the MIC 2.0. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get hit a hardtop. I live up here in the north. There's no point in the soft top. And I kid you not, 2 days later, that's when I got the email from Ford with the VIN number. And I was like, oh, well, guess we'll just keep it. And then maybe try to invest in one of those hardtops you're talking about here. In the
Yeah. So you were definitely surprised, right?
Yeah, I was very pleasantly surprised.
So the dealership, is it a smaller dealership or is it a larger dealership or?
I don't know about volume. They're in Schomburg, which is one of the bigger suburbs. It's on the other side of just west of O'Hare. It's one of the bigger, more up-and-coming suburbs in the Chicagoland area. So I don't know what they're buying. There's a ton of Ford dealerships up here, so I don't know which ones are high volume, but it's in a highly populated area. So, and I know that they've sold several. I know they had 2 first editions there. I've seen 2 different first editions myself, and I know they've sold some other ones as well. So I don't think they're hurting for inventory as much as maybe some of the smaller allocation dealerships are.
Yeah, isn't that strange though? Like guys that jumped on, because you're close to Granger. It's not like it would be a stretch for you to go there. And I know privately we're talking, hey, a lot of people in this area went there because they were offering a great deal. Really, that what was it, 1,000 off of was it invoice or off of MSRP? I can't remember which.
I think it was invoice.
Yeah. And then they were by October offering 2,500 off, I believe, if you ordered within a certain
Well, and they
range.
were offering like flights or something too.
Mm-hmm.
Like for you to either come in and get it, or they would offer to ship it to you, or there was a lot, because I actually early on I told him, I was like, look at this swag bag that Granger's giving. Maybe we need to switch our reservation.
She totally did. Like,
well, and I saw it as like
right
a
to your
trip
heart,
opportunity.
right to your heart, free things. Let's be honest.
Hey,
yeah. And you know what? The funny thing is I got the flag, as you can see.
And
I got the little calendar thing.
Yeah.
And I went on eBay and bought the hammock because that was probably the one of all of them that I really wanted.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I mean, so I even got some of the free swag too. So,
yeah. And now they're doing a backpack, I hear.
That's what I hear. I hear rumors of a backpack.
Yeah. Well, they've showed pictures of getting one.
I know, but until I see more people coming, because people did post up that, oh, I got this hat and this T-shirt from Ford, and then it ended up being like somebody's dad actually sent it to him and didn't tell him it was theirs. It was like, how would Ford know what your T-shirt size was? Exactly. Until I start seeing more people get it, I don't trust that it's coming from Ford yet.
Yeah, the one I saw had a fire extinguisher in it, which I thought would be pretty cool, especially if you will a lot.
Oh yeah. So you are coming in from the Toyota crowd though, right?
Yeah.
Let's start with, how did you get into overlanding, off-roading, and what led you down this path?
So, I mean, I've always been kind of a car lover in general. I used to have Mustangs. I used to drag race when I was younger. I had a lot of Fords. Had multiple F-150s. Actually, I even had the 96 Bronco, fire engine red. I don't know what the technical name of the color was, but it was way back in the day. So I had an F-150 when I first moved to Chicago, which is hard to parallel park. So I was like, you know what? I had a 4Runner back in 07. I'll try one out. It's a little bit easier. It's still fun to drive. Got to network with people. There's a huge Toyota community here in Chicago.
Nice.
And they're great people. I still hang out with most of them and still talk to them and network with them. But just got the bug. I met with I don't know if you all have heard of Wanderlust Overland. They're based out of the area, and they held some off-road events at some of the local off-road parks, and went and hung out with them and kind of got hooked that way. And it's just one of those things, it's addiction. And then when COVID hit, of course, that didn't help any. So, next thing you know, you're going to the Upper Peninsula or Ouray or Moab. Or when I go back home to Tennessee, I hit some of the trails down that area as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things that kind of just stumbled upon it.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, like overlanding, I remember being 7, 8. I started hearing this, it was like a secret word called overlanding. And it started bringing in people, because I was pretty big in the Nissan community at the time, and it was kind of bringing in some people taking their Xteras and kitting them out and stuff. And I thought, well, that seems kind of fun. We had the Good Friday tornadoes came through our town, and just a town has a tornado go through it, you better find whatever car you can find. So I found this Xterra, this 01 Xterra.
He went from an 06.
Yeah, a newer Frontier.
An 06 Frontier that was totaled out in 2008 to a 2001. And I said, are you sure? Are you sure because it had the Rockford Fosgate sound system in it. It had everything but four-wheel drive. Yeah, it had everything but four-wheel drive on it. And I was like, are you sure? And he's like, no, yeah. I said, you're not taking one for the family, right? And he's like, no. Well, I want to.
And Kelly's from a GM household where you leased a car, you returned the car. And I started
and you don't touch a car.
Yeah, I started ripping panels and stuff off this thing.
You oil change, you put gas in it, you drive it, you sell it, or you turn it in. That's what you do. You don't cut it. You don't do all these things. He brought it home, and the first thing he did was start cutting the bumper off. And I said, what the hell are you doing? He's like, well, we're making it better. And I was like, no, you're not. You're trashing it up. Like, what are you doing?
So,
And that was just the beginning.
But was it like that for you though? The first time you start modifying these things for overlanding?
Yeah, I mean, as far as like, the overlanding part, the Toyota is very friendly. The 4Runner is very friendly with the whole camping aspect and having the space and the accessories. There's a ton of aftermarket there, just like they are for Jeep and now Bronco. But, and a lot of people have the rooftop tents and those things. They're just like a match made in heaven. The off-road part is where it gets a little trickier. 33s is about as far as you can go without really doing some mods. I mean, yes, you can, like I had 34s on mine. Those KM3s I had were 34-inch 285, 75s. And, we did the body mount chop. We did a pinch weld mod where we punched the pinch weld in to keep it from hitting. And then I still had to cut. But, I went to the stand dudes in Michigan last year. After having done all that, they still bottomed out and popped my fenders. I had to push them back in a little bit.
Oops.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a very capable truck, and it's perfect for that person who wants to go explore, but maybe not do some of the more hardcore rock calling. I mean, there are some 4Runners out there that are pretty capable, but you're not going to have your departure angles and your approach angles like you would in a Jeep or a Bronco or even a Defender. But very great vehicle, no complaints about it whatsoever. But yeah, that's kind of where I got into that. My friends all were very heavily involved in that. There's an event up in Michigan you guys should probably check out called Core. Keweenaw Overland Adventure Retreat. I'll make some models. One of my good friends has an exterior that you were talking about just a few minutes ago. Drives all the way from New Hampshire.
Oh wow!
Some of the big YouTubers come there. I know Ozark Overland comes, and he was there last year in Revere Overland. Some of those guys, and it's a very fun experience. It's very laid back. It's a primitive campground, so you don't have all those amenities.
Thank God, because every overland thing I see is nothing but they're at these premier campgrounds and they have all these tents and stuff, and then they go use the lavatories at the place. Or
hey.
No.
Don't knock it.
Some of the guys that I know what you're saying. I'm gonna say, like, I don't have the beard to be an overlander, and some of these guys that I see that
and he can't make the beard.
They want to be rugged and stuff. Are such posers, man. And
I
like
his
knowing
life
that.
On that beard, and he couldn't make it.
No, I like knowing though that, hey, this is primitive. You got to deal with what you bring. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, you don't see a lot of like big RVs there. You see some, but it's mostly like the teardrop campers, rooftop tents. I use the Gazelle tent, with mine, which is plenty big enough without adding all that extra weight onto the roof of the truck. So I mean, and it's like I said, it's primitive camping. The only thing they have as far as facilities is they have permanent porta potty stations there to do your business, but they don't even have a running water as you first pull in. You got to fill your own tanks up and stuff.
Right.
There's no showers. So, it's very primitive, but it's fun. It's a great experience. They do a big bonfire. They have a ton of vendors there. They do raffles and such. So, I mean, it's a great way to network with people that really love that hobby. I can't say no positive things about it. We look forward to going every year. We even got a subset group, that we all stay in a safe spot, and we all do the trails together while we're there. And actually, we're actually all going to Uray in July this year. So I'll get to
test. Kelly's not been there yet, and I love that area, man. I love that area. Oh wait, Uray, no, North Carolina, right?
No, Uray.
I always get the.
You were thinking.
Yes.
You're thinking when we went
URE.
You were thinking URE.
No, but
or whatever it is.
Either way, they're beautiful spots.
Whatever it is.
You've been to URE with me.
Yes, I've been there with you.
But no, you get in Colorado, man, and it's, oh my God, that's so much fun. Terrence, I thought you were not donating to the channel
until your rig came in.
Yes, so are you telling us your rig has come in? We're going to get into that, and guys, we're into the. I want to say this. I asked the poll about some of our interviews because I know sometimes they drag along.
So if you haven't voted, be sure to vote.
Yes, definitely vote on that because we're trying to shape the show to what you guys like. But thank you so much for that, Terrence. You're always way too kind to us, and we do greatly appreciate that. So, hey, were you saying that you had been to Uray before?
Yeah, you went this past August in the fall.
Okay.
Yeah. So I went there. It was great. I mean, you'll love it. Even if you're not a big off-roader person, the views are just, so amazing. You feel like you're in Switzerland. They call it the Swiss.
Yes,
Swiss of American. So, I mean, they do that for a reason. I mean, the mountains are very vertical. It reminds me kind of Hawaii, how the mountains are so vertical. Of course, the vegetation's different, but and it's just so breathtakingly gorgeous when you get on some of those trails. And they have different trails for different. If you're not comfortable, say doing Black Bear Pass, the Alpine Loop is a great scenic. Very high altitude. You're still in the 14,000 feet range, but just views for days.
And the $1 Million Highway, just riding around that is awesome.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I'm used to riding around in the Smokies where I grew up at, and that stuff didn't used to bother me. But when I was on the $1 Million Highway, there was times I was just like, I was like, no guardrail, nothing but just
and people flying around those roads too. Like you're like, if they take a bad turn, it's game over.
Yeah, I can only imagine it out there because we got married and we didn't do the quintessential got married in Gatlinburg, but we got married in Townsend, Tennessee at a resort up on the where literally, you understand over there, you have to just switch backy. And I remember going up that road one time or when we were going up there and there was somebody who just flew around that corner and I can only imagine out in Ouray, like.
Well, the cool thing is we stayed I went out with Rogue Overland when I did my Nissan show and those guys you talking about organization, like they like to the minute. I mean, they're not anal about like, we can't be late or whatever, but they plan a nice trip. And we stayed in Silverton there at some old mine and you're deep in the middle of these just mountains and you're surrounded by it. And
is that when you saw the bear?
No, that was Moab. I saw the bear, which I didn't know there was bear in Moab, but there are bear in Moab. But it's just so breathtaking. Like you were saying, like the Little Swiss, man, it's definitely a little version of the Alps. And to see downtown when you're up on Black Bear and you're looking at that iconic view, because I find Black Bear to be boring. I'll be honest. There was a couple times I was passenger on Black Bear. And so there's a couple times being passenger where you're looking down and my buddy Danny, who's on the show every once in a while, Danny's a little crazy. And there was a couple times I was like, Dan, why don't I get out and get some pictures for you? because there are a few parts you can see how people can get in trouble on that trail. But as far as like, I thought, not
Imogene.
Imogene by far is probably my favorite trail I've ever done. And it's a safe trail too.
And I think most people feel that way that I've talked to as well. I think Black Bear has, up until you get to that point where you hit the steps, it's not very scenic. It's not, it's not very challenging or technical at all.
Yeah.
I think, we did Black Bear. I unfortunately got caught doing it in the rain. So that made it a little extra exciting.
Yeah. No, thank you.
For my first time being there.
Well, there's one spot where water crosses Black Bear anyways. And that made me nervous. Because it was a little slick you could tell there's algae and stuff. So you doing it completely in the rain? No, thank you.
Yeah. Needless to say, we crawled.
I bet.
Yeah. Coming off those steps, we were definitely four low gear, riding the brakes. But I'm like you. I like the Imogene was my favorite, or Imogene, however people want to pronounce it.
Yeah.
Depends on who you ask.
That was that was probably my favorite one, and I think Poughkeepsie was a good one too.
Okay.
I don't know if you've had the pleasure of doing that one yet, but it's a little bit more technical. I think probably the more technical ones there. But Yankee Boy was also really nice.
I've always heard Engineer Pass up there was probably one of the premier
That's what
ones.
I've heard too.
Yeah, that's one on the Alpine Loop. It's not very technical. It depends on how you go to get there. If you go Mineral Creek, it can get kind of technical, but like Engineer Pass, you go up on Odom Point, you have this huge panoramic overlook.
Oh, cool.
I mean, if you with a bunch of group of people, you can all line up and get like panoramic views and just the landscape. It's probably the best view in all of that area that I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like Imogene a little bit where they have the overlook at the top. And guys, you get up to 14,000 feet and you think, I'm just going to run down here and grab a picture real quick. And you're used to, because here in Nashville, we're about 700 feet sea level. You try to run just a quick 100 feet and you know it real quick.
Oh yeah. I even stayed overnight in Denver like 3 nights because we stayed there and caught a Rockies game, and then I drove on into Ouray thinking, I'd acclimate myself since I live in Chicago, which is probably near sea level. Nah, we went up on Mount Evans, which is over 14,000 feet outside of Denver, so it's like the tallest paved road in America. And we just got out to like just walk over and take a couple of pictures, and you could just feel winded, feel a little lightheaded. You definitely want to stay hydrated out there, that's for sure. And to be honest with you, even though it was August, it was chilly.
That's when I was out there. Yeah,
I got sunburnt really bad, on my left arm, because even though I had the windows up, just from driving in that high altitude. I mean, it's definitely a fun place to go. I think it should be on everybody's bucket list. I actually liked it more than I did Moab, just as far as the scenery. Moab, and Moab's gorgeous too.
Oh yeah, no, it's Moab. The cool thing, I drove, so I flew into the first time I went to Moab. I flew into
Grand Junction.
Grand Junction, yes, and which was a trip in itself because you're flying into this bowl, sort of, and you see all these You're in this kind of a canyon, big canyon, but you're kind of in this canyon. And it was all tan. And I was like, wow, this is because I'm from Tennessee. You know what it's like. It's green. Like we see green and then we see dead Bermuda.
And the most he's traveled has been since we've been married. And we've been married for 15 years. Yeah. So like in the most of your traveling has probably been in the last 7 years or so.
Yeah, probably.
So the last 7 years or so. So he hasn't seen much of anything. So for him.
But driving from that corner of Colorado and then you go to take that turn into towards Moab is like all of a sudden you're just like a light switch of red rocks. You're just like, I called her. I called you a couple times. What?
You would like Sedona a lot.
Oh yeah. I called Kelly a couple times. I was like, you're not going to believe what I'm looking at. It was
like
crazy.
A kid in a candy store.
Oh yeah.
Like he was totally like, babe. And then his call would drop because he'd go through like the canyons or whatever. And I'm like, oh, come on. Like you should be same time or,
But Moab is for one, it's just an icon of off-roading. And literally I couldn't have been even better. So I'm at the edge of the town and I forget what campground there is right at the edge. And I start seeing Unimogs and I'm like, because I've never seen a Unimog at the time before. And I was just like in off-road heaven.
Oh yeah, you had. We had seen it at Uori.
That was after that.
You sure?
Yeah. We camped we ended up camping next to a Unimog.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Sorry.
But so
I digress.
So Moab, I mean, it sounds like you've just been adventuring like crazy.
Yeah, even like in East Tennessee, there's a lot of decent little trails down there. Some of them aren't well known, but like Hurricane Creek Trail, Horse Creek Trail. Of course, you have Windrock right there, and the Nemo Tunnel went down there. So I mean, and as I go through Kentucky, there's always the Daniel Boone,
the cat,
yeah. So I mean, you have lots of options not far from where you guys live too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then North Georgia, and then of course Western North Carolina, like you were talking about earlier. So yeah, I always go down to visit family every year, so I drive just for that purpose. I have an excuse to take an extra day or two.
Well, and speaking of driving, so how have you compared your 4Runner to the Bronco? What's kind of the pluses and minuses?
To be honest with you, and you all aren't going to believe me, but with those 37s on, it doesn't feel much, if any, different than having the 35s and stock suspension. Because I mean, I had the zone lift put on, 3-inch, and it's basically a spacer kit with some bump stock stuff in it. And it's got these UCAs, which granted, the kit's only about $600. I plan on upgrading the coilers eventually. I just want to put something on there for now.
Yeah,
kind of hold me over until the market kind of settles.
Sure.
But the lift didn't really change the ride that much. And to be honest with you, those KM3s, they're not, I barely even noticed they're there compared to the stock Sasquatch tires.
Would you feel like because I think you had told me have you drove the KM2s, the old ones?
I haven't drove those. I drove the KO2s.
Okay. So yeah, definitely. Like, I feel like the new KM3s are a soft, like it's more of a road. They took the complaints of like, hey, people don't want to hear the droney of a MT and improve that tire a lot.
Yeah, and I mean, the 4Runner now, when it's stock, it's probably it might be right there with the Bronco, maybe even a little bit better. But when I had the 34s and the 3-inch Dobinson's lift on it, had a long travel suspension and everything, if I set it down to like completely soft, it would probably ride a little better. But as far as the steering and handling, it's not as good as the Bronco. And it may be because the Bronco's wider. I don't know. All the dynamics, but you also got to think to that 4Runner. It's a 2018. It's everything in it's old,
right?
The chassis, the
engine,
and it's and I would love to see what they're going to do with it next year. But it's not kept up, with the Joneses, so to speak.
Oh yeah, it's a thirsty engine too.
Yeah, And to be honest with you, those 34s on that 4Runner, I got maybe 12 miles a gallon right now. Now, keep in mind, my motor's only got about 1,300 miles on it, so it's not really even broke in yet. But even with the 37s today, I checked it, and it was still averaging 13.6.
Wow.
So I'd expect that to get better because, to be honest with you, with the 35s and stock suspension, it was hovering around 13.9. Keep in mind, I live in the city.
Right.
So it's stop and go. Half my commute to work, stop and go. So
right.
If I live in a more rural area, it'd probably be better. But I'm getting better gas mileage in the Bronco with 37s in a lift than I did with the 4Runner with 34s.
Wow.
Well, and being the Sasquatch package, you're geared better probably than you were definitely in the 4Runner.
And that's the thing too. A lot of people, I hear people on the message board, they're talking about, oh, we're going to re-gear. That's the reason why I get Sasquatch. I'm like, you all realize that IFS re-gearing is not an apples to apples to Jeep. And I don't know if Bronco will be better, but if it's anything like Toyota, you're talking about probably $3,000.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because the 4Runner only came with like 373s, which is nothing.
Yeah.
And that was nothing too. It's like driving through Colorado and Ouray, going to Ouray and then going to Moab.
Yeah. You noticed that.
It's horrible.
Oh, yeah. Well, and I try to, people think it's just a tire package for the Sasquatch package. And obviously, I think if you get serious about it, you're going to change the suspension. Let's be honest, like you already have. But gearing makes that, honestly, to me, gearing in the lockers is the only reason I wanted the Sasquatch package, because eventually, yes, we'll put different tires and stuff on it. And I actually like the wheels that come on it. I'm going to plan to keep them for quite a while because I just kind of like them. But yeah, I've tried to talk to other creators and they're like, I'm just going to order the Badlands with 33s. And I'm like, guys, it's worth the small cost especially if you're getting the Badlands, the small add-on cost. Yeah. It's very justified. Cause like you were saying, go re-gear this. And of course there's very super limited options right now. Cause Ford Performance hasn't even released. I think they're going to offer a 513, which would be great for 37s. But I don't think they've actually made them yet to sell.
To be honest with you, I won't upgrade it. I mean, I have a 2.7 liter like you guys do with that 4.7 gear ratio. I can't tell a difference between it and the factory, to be honest with you. Now, keep in mind, the KM3s aren't as heavy and as wide as some of the other MT37 options out there. And as far as like weight, because that's why I had a choice narrowed down either KO2s or KM3. The KO2s, I'm thinking it's the same one that's on the new Raptor or the C-rated ones. They're only 18 pounds more a tire than the stock Sasquatch tires. They're 68 pounds per tire. And I think the stock Sasquatch when I looked it up is 52. So you're not looking at adding a ton of rotating mass, but you get like some of these other tire brands, you're looking at 80, 90 and up. And the KM3s, I think they were like 78 pounds a tire. For the 2.5 or 12.5 width. So, I mean, that's always something to consider too. The BFGs run just a hair bit smaller than a lot of the other, or wheels out there, I should say tires out there, the same size. But I think for me, that's a plus. One thing, if you watch the video, you'll notice too that I talked about with that zone lift, those UCAs, it is extremely close when you cut the wheel all the way. Now, if you picked another brand of tire, it probably for sure hit it. Mine are really close. So I ordered a set of Bora Hub-Centric wheel spacers. I know a lot of people don't like it. I used them on my 4Runner too, so I'm not worried about it. They're a 3/4 inch, so they have the lugs and everything. And with the Sasquatch wheels, they have recesses on the back side, so they will fit. I won't have to trim the lugs down on the factory rotors. Just to get that little extra bit of clearance. I just want to do that before I take it off road. That's one of the few things that's holding me back, just trying to make sure that, I'm not out there flexing hard and tire loose. Yeah.
And the cool thing is you've done this before now, so you have an idea of what to look for. But the Bronco's brought a lot of new people to off-road. Again, it's brought some Jeep people. And I think that's kind of what you were hinting at earlier was the Jeep crowd thinks, oh, it's just easy to you just re-gear it, because Jeep it's pretty easy, and there's 1,000 companies out there making gear sets for these things, and so we're all kind of new to it. Another thing, I of course being a BF Goodrich fan, I'm happy to see you have those tires on there. But you did the wrap on there, or the paint protection film on this thing.
Yeah, the matte. It's a Expel Stealth. It has like a matte satin finish. Looks really, really good. I mean, you can see it in some of the videos there, but no regrets whatsoever. Because on the 4Runner, I have what they call is the goat truck armor, which is a magnetic sheet that you take off and on, and it helps to prevent pinstriping and scratches. Like when you go wheeling, down in Tennessee, it's kind of like it is up here. You have a lot of tree branches. Upper Peninsula, Michigan, and Indiana off-road parks are just like they are down in the south. You got a lot of tree branches. So with the Bronco, I reached out to that company and asked them, I was like, are you guys planning on doing anything for the Broncos? And they said that one of the problems with doing those with the Broncos is the Broncos has so much aluminum.
Yes.
That they don't readily stick.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm like, what? This is a brand new truck. I went all out, got all the options, just suck it up and pay the few $1,000s to get that done. The good thing about it is that in the summer, if it does scratch, it has like that self-healing property.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
The heat kind of fuses it back together. So yeah, I definitely had to get that because I was like, there's no way I'm going to pay $60,000 for a truck and take it out in the woods and have it look like crap whenever I get done. So
yeah, it's funny you say that about like, you paid what you paid for your vehicle, and it's like, I'm not going to do it half-ass essentially. Cause I'm in a couple of ladies groups, and I actually posted the other night, I was coming home with dinner, and I didn't think about what if the drive-through doesn't have one of the cup trays because we have the MGV. So I have 2 cup holders in the truck. And so like I went through the drive-through and I was like, yeah, and can I please get a drink holder with it? She's like, we're actually out of them. And I was like,
shit.
And I said, okay, I'll figure it out. So I like posted that in one of my ladies groups, and several ladies had recommendations of these things they bought on Amazon. And like, I'm looking at it and I'm going, that's not good enough for our Bronco. Like,
you're talking about the things that fit down the back seat.
Yeah, there's like the thing that fits in the netting on the back of the back of the seat and all that.
I just got 2 yesterday.
Did you? Let us know how it works, because I'm hesitant on it, because in my Xterra, we didn't have stuff. So it was just like you made whatever work. And so we would just buy it and be like, if it's not good enough, then it wouldn't. But now I'm like, man, I don't even want to try it if it's not going to be good quality.
Yeah, that's the thing, Russ, coming from Nissan. You didn't get anything. There was no support.
You made whatever work.
Yeah, so you had to learn. So it's been kind of good for us with Bronco was like, we can adapt, where some people can't adapt.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. I looked at them like, is there $17? I was like, I'll try, because I saw it. I think it was on Bronco Babes or one of those Facebook.
Yeah.
And I saw it.
Yeah, Rebecca has them.
Yeah. I saw that. I was like, hell, I'll try it. Nothing else. I mean, I'm not going to use it because it's going to be back behind me. But
right.
I was like, I'll try it. And if worst case scenario, it doesn't work, I'll just toss them out or something.
It's this one that's the problem. Like, I don't have a problem kind of trying them, but he'll be like, I got these bags for the back of the Bronco for like when we go to Sam's. Let's be honest,
you were momming the Bronco up.
I was momming the Bronco up a little bit. It had it's a thing I got from Sam's. It's like a little organizer. It goes down to just a square like this, but then when we need it spreads
everybody
out.
See what I deal with,
and there's a cooler attached to it.
Y'all, you guys are like pushing. It's say it's Kelly's or Kelly's Bronco, and I'm trying to keep the Bronco boy like a little bit longer than.
I'm not momming it out that much.
I think if you had your way and it was completely yours, you definitely would.
No. But I was afraid to get those cup holders too, because I was afraid that I might get in trouble.
Well, Peugeot says
so please let us know.
You should have got the 2 doors because you got 4 cup holders.
No, Peugeot. No. And then I would have had one less seat in the back.
Oh, yeah.
That is true. And I've already seen what Bluford put I don't know, like the refrigerator, not a refrigerator, but like a box in the center of his.
Oh yeah, you've probably seen those too, Jody. That it was like an option of like a cup holder with that in the middle, or it was like to your point on the back of the seats, and then there's another thing that you could like put in the passenger.
Yeah, it's
and
like
I'm just
some
like
old school.
I like to just kind of sit back in my chair. I don't want to share cup holders.
Wow.
Well,
the diva here.
Yeah, I'm gonna date myself, but you remember those old plastic things that people used to buy for their console?
Oh yeah.
Or
do you remember remember the ones that you used to hang into the window jams, the little cup holders?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Those actually were in some of my Amazon searches because it would pop up.
They still make
Then
those?
yeah, and then they also have these cup holder things that you put it in your cup holder, so it holds your cup, but then it's got an auxiliary piece off to the side that
A
opens
holder
up
for the holder?
No, so like it essentially expands it.
Oh.
So you put it in there and then you put your cup on there, but then it also has another thing off to the side that fits a bowl like this. Who needs a bowl when you're driving down the road? But whatever, you know.
For nuggies, man.
If you wanted
it's a
to.
fry holder.
No, it was literally like a soup bowl.
Okay.
Like a soup bowl size.
Hey, maybe you need to eat soup as you're going down the road.
Maybe so. But I looked at that and I was like, no, that's going to fall apart and then it's going to spill all over and then I'm going to be in big trouble.
So, Kelly, I got an idea for you as a tip. When the weather gets nicer down there and you get to put the roof back, you could buy one of those hats that people put the beer cans in.
She'd have 2 of those 44 Sonic sweet teas or whatever on her head there.
Probably so.
I'd come in and she'd come in to hug me.
No, I'd have coffee in
and
one.
It'd be sticky hair everywhere.
No, I'd have coffee in one and I'd have sweet tea in the other.
Or you'd be like in the
what I
80s.
wanted.
Be like in the 80s with the raised up bangs.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't want to do that if you're off road though, because it'd probably like splash everywhere.
Yeah, it probably would.
It'd be
cause
hilarious
all sorts
though.
of trouble.
But we've already had the top down in the snowstorm. So
Yeah.
we're making do with, you know, that's the unfortunate thing for us. We got ours in November.
Yeah.
And Tennessee, like, it could be warm. It could be 75 in Christmas, or it can be 35. And unfortunately, this year we got the other version.
Yeah, but I tell you what, it's still better than it being constantly cold.
Oh, I completely agree. Yes.
Oh, definitely. So I know in your video, and I was showing just a little bit of it, you were talking about doing the Ford pull out the drawer system. That's still the plan?
Yeah, actually, I bought it when they had this sale. It was like 50. I saved like a ton of money buying the door bags, the drawer system, and I bought one of those. I don't know how it's going to work. It's like the cover that only covers like from the windshield to the back.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
So I'm going to try to use that here whenever it snows real bad. And you see the reports of people having snow blown in their soft tops. I've not experienced that yet, but I like if it's going to be a high wind day, I might try to see if I can snug it on there or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or if I'm out in Moab and I want to take the doors and the roof off and just want to leave them off overnight, do that as well. But yeah, I got one of those, so I am going to put that in as soon as it gets in. It should be here any day. And the canvas back cargo liner that I bought, I'm going to try to. I hadn't decided if I'm going to do like a piece of plywood on top of that drawer, maybe carpet it, and then try to put the liner on top of that because the dogs will have to ride back there all the time. So we'll just say I haven't decided how I'm going to do that, because if I do that, I'll probably try to put it to where the bolt goes through the plywood into the drawer, because it uses the bolts. I might have to go buy longer bolts, but yeah, I'm still toying around with how to do that. But yeah, I've seen some of the reviews on there. I always keep a lot of recovery gear with me. Mm-hmm. Even when I'm not off-roading, I keep a minimum amount of stuff just in case.
Yeah, we didn't on that snow day.
Yeah,
we should have on that snow day.
The biggest thing I'm struggling with is where am I going to put my max tracks or any kind of traction?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There's top owners, there's not a lot of options.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you look at the Jeep guys like to put them on the spare tires. That's always a fairly good option. I'm not a big I think the poor tailgate is doing enough work, so I hate to add too much to it, but the tracks aren't too heavy.
The tracks aren't, but that big rack thing that I've seen some people using, I'm kind of worried about that.
Yeah, well, that and then it's in your view.
Yeah, I saw somebody today posted on one of the forums where they said their thing caved in from having a large tire on the back, but they didn't have like any of those reinforcements. But who knows? I mean,
no, if it's the same one I saw, the guy said he had the stock tire on there, and it had come off the truck that way. And he's like, oh, look at it. It moves like this. And I immediately got out of, I don't know where I was, but I immediately got out of the Bronco and took a video and was like, there's something wrong because mine does not do this. And I've got a 35.
Yeah, I do remember, because I remember seeing your comment on that. That's a different one, though. That was from a couple of days ago. This one
so there's a new one.
And this guy was like saying it was like permanently indented. It wasn't like flexing like the other guys.
I have a feeling some people are backing into these things when they're loading these things up.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought too. I've got Rough Country. I actually got the shipping notification yesterday. So I got the Rough Country, which is not my favorite brand, but the tailgate reinforcement, and it lifts it up a little bit for a little more departure angle. So I've got that coming as well. So I'm going to put that on there just to be on the safe side. That's another reason why I want to get a lighter tire and go with the BFG.
Right. And how do you feel? Do you feel like the gate's handling the 37 all right as is?
It is, but I'll be honest with you, I'm trying to limit, going back and forth to work.
Mm-hmm.
I don't open it hardly ever. So I'm trying to just limit that just to be on the safe side. When I have opened it, it hasn't felt any different.
Okay.
I need to tell you this though, whenever you go to open it, it swings out faster and harder.
Oh,
So I mean that could be a plus depending on how you look at it. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
that's about the only thing I've noticed.
That's one of those complaints, though. People are complaining about, well, the tailgate's hard to open. I'm like, for one, eventually it will loosen up some.
Yeah.
Those pistons always loosen up. But two, I like the fact that you don't open it and it just slings out where it wants to go. F2F Terrain has a question for you. He says he's a little bit late to the stream, but how do you like these zone lifts so far?
Well, other than the part where the UCA is like almost up against the tire at full lock, other than that, it's great. Like I said, I won't get the spacer to negate that. But if you are going to run 37s on stock wheels, now if you have aftermarket wheels with a more negative offset, you probably won't have that issue. But as far as clearance, as far as like the what do you call the crash bars, where they would be on like a non-Sasquatch model, I had tons of clearance in the front and the back. It's just right up against that UCA because I have the stock Sasquatch wheels. Yeah. Like you said earlier, I don't want to get rid of them. I love the ring. And if you wheeled in Uray and Moab and even in East Tennessee, you're going to scratch your rims up. I had really nice aftermarket rims on that 4Runner, and I made me sick to my stomach to see how bad they were scratched.
I bought, so we used to run a Nissan event at Windrock, and this past year was our final year doing it. But yeah, I had some level 8 wheels that I put on my Frontier, and I knew it was going to happen, so I wasn't dumb to it. But yeah, I went up Trail 22, and by the time I got to the top of it, there was just gouges everywhere, and I was just like, well, luckily that was a fairly affordable wheel, so if I was real anal about it. But see, this is what you need right here, man.
Yeah, that's what I ordered.
Yep.
Cool.
They're from CJ Pony Parts, and I'm kind of excited because I've seen people put not these on it, but wheel spacers on them, and it just gets it just a hair out of the fenders, and I think it's going to look nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's like anything else. You don't want to get too aggressive with it because then you're going to be hit and stuff. But I think with the stock rims, especially with the Sasquatch package, I think you could probably go maybe an inch or more. Depends on if you just do stock suspension. I saw a guy on one of the forums. He had a stock Sasquatch package with 37-inch KM3s like mine, and it made his hit the bars. That was no lift. That was purely stock Sasquatch package. So that's just something to consider as well. But like the ones I bought, they're only like 3/4 because I didn't want to go too aggressive. Now, once I get them on, because it's not going to really improve the poke that much. But once I get them on, if I feel like there's more room, I may go back and get 1 inch because 1 inch is what I had on the 4Runner. And it gave it a great aggressive look, and I'll be honest with you, I had it in Uray, I had it Moab with the spacers on, no issues whatsoever. So
it's all you torque them down properly. It's those AutoZone crap that I see people buy.
Yeah, don't buy that cheap shit.
No, man, get Hub-Centric wheel spacers. Don't get some generic thing, and you'll do fine.
And do like I did and Loctite the heck out of it.
So what are some of the next plans for your truck?
I was just putting stuff on. We are getting married here in May, so that kind of
congratulations.
Put the kibosh on a lot of spending.
Yeah.
I did order. I forgot to mention. I ordered some of the rock slide engineering steps like Town & Country has. So that's one thing from the lift and the tires. That if there's any negative so far, it's the fact that I have to. I'm only 5'11", so I'm not a really tall guy. I have to fall out. I basically slide out of my truck. Yeah. And then to get in, I have to. It's like getting in a tractor trailer. I used to be a tractor trailer many years ago. It's like you're grabbing stuff and pulling yourself up.
And you don't have the side the pillar bar to help pull you up either.
Yeah. So I was like, and even my significant other was like, "Are you gonna put?" Keep in mind they're not very car savvy, and they're like, "Are you gonna put rails on this thing?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we'll do that. We'll make this one exception. We'll go into a little bit more debt."
I'm waiting for companies like White Knuckle and a few of the slider companies too. I want a frame mounted slider, and from what I've seen on it, it's going to be damn near impossible because they have the fuel lines running right where you don't want them to run. But I'm just not a fan of. I watched the Bronco Buster. Me and overlanding for fun. We're discussing this privately, but I was watching that guy just beat the piss out of his wife's Bronco for whatever reasons. I have no idea. But you could see when he landed on the body mounted sliders, which are the factory, I believe they're the factory sliders they still have on there. You could see the body moving, and you're already dealing with a lot of aluminum. And I'm just like, you know what? That's not for me. I want something mounted to, plus for crash. Honestly, I've always told Kelly,
sure.
if you were ever in a side impact crash, at least it's like putting your frame out, at least gives you a little bit more. They're not coming through the door.
And that's one of the things, coming from the Forerunner thing, I had frame mounted rock sliders, and keep in mind, those were about $600.
Mm-hmm.
Southern style off-road, great quality. Buying something like that for the Bronco is going to cost you $12, $13, about twice the price.
Yeah.
That was a sticker shock for sure. But I'm curious. I know there are some people that are working on some.
Mm-hmm.
I remember on reading videos, and maybe some of your shows where they talked about some of the things they were worried about was like vibrations or something. But I know they've done them on Toyotas, and I know they do them on Jeeps. So I'm not.
Light Bright, I thought was no. They were monkeying with. I think they're still body mounted. What they were monkeying with, which they're not a beacon of. I would follow everything they do, but they do some quality stuff. I'm hoping. I mean, we're supposed to be getting test fit this week. A set of body mounted frame mounted sliders.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're being test fitted this week. So we're going to Florida. We're going to Lifestyle Off-Road's little campus, and we're picking up a new bumper. But so if anybody needs a non-Lux package front off-road bumper, hit me up. I'm gonna let it go cheap, not dirt cheap, but cheaper than you could go to Ford and buy one. But yeah, they're doing some test fitting on it, and I know there's a few other companies, like you were saying, that are working with it. But that's been the bummer about all this tech and stuff they put in these vehicles now. It complicates everything.
Mm-hmm.
Where have you been with that with some of it? Because I know you've installed the GRMS radio, and have you had any problems with any of these things?
So I didn't install the actual radio. I actually got a part today. I had to get some more wiring because the way I had it set in the Forerunner, I'd spliced it in. But I've been considering. I'm thinking about putting mine inside the glove or the console. Mm-hmm. I've downloaded a sheet off one of the forums where they go through step by step how to take that console out. So I want to do it right. I want to run the antenna wires. I also have a Boost that I had in the Forerunner. So I don't know if you all saw in the videos, the little ghost antenna that Midland sells. Mm-hmm. I'm going to move it to the passenger side because that's where the car radio is, because the Boost antennas are a little bit more sensitive. So they sell a similar antenna that mounts just like it. So I'm going to have one on each side now. And I'm going to run it to under the seat and run the GMRS up to the console and tie them both into the DC outlet there. So that's one of the next projects that I have. But I've ran the cable. So that grommet in the firewall is very easy to work with. Yeah. I just cut a little hole and slid the cable for the GMRS antenna right through it. Very easy to work through there. A lot easier than the Forerunner was. The Forerunner, you had to be more of a contortionist to get it in. But yeah, and it pops in. And if you want to just run it like up against the side, once you put it back in, it snugs up pretty hard too. I don't know if you'll have to do that yet, but yeah. So it'll be something I'll do here pretty soon. I'm just waiting for a couple more wires to come in from Boost and Midland. So I'm gonna try to knock it all out in one whack.
Well, what do you think What do you think your first big trip in this thing? Where are you headed?
Well, as of right now, I'm going to Badlands when the other half is doing a bachelor party. I'm going in Attica, Indiana. It's probably
you do your thing and they do theirs.
Yeah, and it's the closest good off-road park really to Chicago. There's not any around here.
We've got to hook you up with a buddy of ours, Ryan Miller, up there. TV's own Ryan Miller.
Yes, TV's own Ryan Miller.
Yeah, we've got some.
What was the name of that show?
What was the goofy off-road?
He was on the History Channel where they all built their trucks up and
beat the piss out of them in Georgia.
Yeah, beat the piss out of them in Georgia. He was on the military one of that. Oh my gosh, what is the name of that show?
Truck Night in America.
Truck Night in America. Yeah.
Yeah, they love to go to Badlands and all
Yes.
that. And
Yeah, it's a fun park. They used to have one here called Cliff Insane Terrain, but they closed it to everything. I think, but like side by sides and such.
Well, Jeep School used to be fairly close to you too back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, there's one up in Wisconsin now that I've not been to, but you're pretty much looking at half a day drive, regardless of which one you go to anymore. So that's what happened. Oh, sorry,
I'm spoiled. Like in Tennessee, like you were saying earlier, we're very spoiled,
and we don't go as much as we should.
We're not restricted. Like some states really restrict the off-road parks, and you're living in probably one of those states that is probably hard to get a license to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's virtually hardly any offer, except for maybe down the very southern part of Illinois. But yeah, most of us here in the Toyota and the Bronco communities, in the Jeep communities here, we have to go into Michigan or Wisconsin or Indiana. There's nothing hardly, especially in the northern part of Illinois. So it is what it is. My job pays me well enough to afford this stuff, but unfortunately, that's in Chicago. So
yeah.
Well, have you thought about trail spares yet?
Talk about what
now? Trail spares, CVs, tie rods, because tie rods are all the rage. Like
I know, I already ordered a set from the dealer, and they told me that we don't know when it's going to be. And I said, I don't care. I still want to be on the list.
And you've added the Bronco Buster stuff, right? Which I'll be honest, I've been on the show, and I don't lie to my audience about this. I'm not a fan of that stuff, but what's your experience? What do you think of those?
At this point, anything's better than nothing to me. The splint thing, only time will tell.
Yeah.
The steering bushing thing, that was pretty easy to get in. I had that done at the same time. I'm not a big suspension guy, so usually when it comes to that stuff, I let somebody else do it that knows what the hell they're doing. So but I had to go ahead and put the bushing in and did the splints. Now I know I saw where I think RPG has new tie rod sets now.
Okay.
Just introduced. I know they had the outer ones, but I think I saw something the other day, and this could be wrong because there's nothing on the internet that's not true. Right?
It's all true, right?
Yeah. Clearly. So I think I saw where somebody said they just announced. I don't know if they're for sale yet, but they just announced. But I want to go and check that out and get it pre-ordered on that. But yeah, definitely. I think you have to have, especially with this being a new vehicle, new platform. It is an unfortunate, but I think it's a reality that a lot of us have to deal with, especially if you're going to be doing some really hardcore wheeling. I tend to know my limits when I don't just go out there and send it. So I'm not, but shit happens, So, I don't plan on doing something that aggressive like you saw Bronkbuster doing on light riding, anything of that nature. But, you always have to be prepared because you don't want to be out in Uray and stuck.
Yeah. Yeah. And right now, like, you're stuck with no parts. Like you were saying, you can't get the stuff. And
in a normal world, you're stuck with no parts out there, though.
I think some of the issue is people coming from the Jeep world that are just used to these straight axles that you can just go beat the piss out of them. Yeah. And you'll break some stuff, but guys like us who are coming from independent front suspension already, don't go out there and abusing it, and for us in the Nissan community, there was a big deal of the whole differential was aluminum. So you could split it under load real easy. It would just crack in half. And so you learn lessons that way. And tie rods, like especially the first gen Xteras, tie rods would just
I don't know how many tie rods at one point we have sitting in each of our vehicles as backups.
I try to keep a spare of all that. But the CVs are the ones I'm definitely going OEM for CVs. I think there are certain parts. I had a guy who his family owned a dealership, and he was like, look, man, OEM is built for 100,000 miles because it's usually warranty stuff. They don't want it failing under 100,000 miles. He's like, you go to Napa or wherever, 25, they don't care, as far as quality parts, but like the tie rods, whatever I can find, I'm going to find a set to put it in the truck.
Yeah. Yeah, I've not seen too much buzz on CV axle failures yet. I'm sure it's to come. I know Toyotas, that was a big thing with the 4Runners.
Seen boots flying apart on these a little bit, but I don't know the reasoning why.
Yeah, I know I can't remember the guy's name. They have a real popular YouTube channel. They actually flew to Michigan and drove them all the way back out west. But he did that. He went mudding. Nothing real serious, but his boot wasn't on tight or something in the CV axle, and it got like a ton of mud and stuff caked inside of the boot.
Oh, is that the Mitchell kid?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping to have him on the show in the next couple months, because he seems like an interesting kid. Just like he's crazy, he comes from a family of wheelers, so he just went and beat the piss out of that poor Bronco quickly.
Yeah, I'm not going to be that aggressive.
No.
So yeah, but yeah, he's that's one of the things I saw in his video that I made sure that I got it to dealership. I was like, make sure y'all check those and make sure those are good and tight.
Yeah. What any quality issues that you found instantly picking up your Bronco?
The only thing I've had is I was doing some mall crawling in the snow, trying to climb up a bank of snow, and I was like, well, I'll try all the bells and whistles out, put it 4 low, front lockers on, turn rear lockers on, sway bar disconnect, all that stuff, just to play with it. Not that I needed it. And when I went to hit the rear locker, I kept getting a
error.
alert. So, and it flagged on the Ford Pass app. So anyway, I took it to the dealership. I mean, it's still drivable. And the guy said that it's a bad solenoid, but where it's placed, they can't just easily swap it out. He said they had to do an emergency order. And I don't know if I understood him correctly, but he claimed that they're basically like drop the rear end to get to it.
Wow.
Okay. But he said, but other than that, everything's functional. So I can still go off roading and use 4 low and the front lockers and all that stuff. But I'm hoping they get it resolved before July when I'm out in Uray, because I would like to try to do the wall.
Yeah.
On Poughkeepsie Gulch. So that might not be something I'd do without it. But yeah.
Well, and at least you caught it before you went out there, and then you're like, what the hell? This thing's not working.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just that, and it's a solenoid, because he was telling me that if you put it in a certain goat mode, it would come on, it would lock, which makes no sense to me.
Especially when you have a button to push.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the like cool things about the goat modes, but also me being kind of an old school guy, I just want to push the things when I want to know what it's doing, why it's doing it, because I did it. That's even like the trail turn assist. I'll forget about that. Because it's just not in my wheelhouse unless I use it a lot.
Unless we're doing donuts.
Yeah, well, we did do that. But yeah,
but then it took an adjustment because we didn't know we needed to put it in. It couldn't be in 4 auto. We had to put it in 4 low or 4 high.
Right. Which was an embarrassing thing too.
On the lot. Well, in that, here's the thing: is you all know that we're all new to this vehicle, so we're learning along with you.
I'm out there trying to do donuts, and I'm like, what the hell, man? I see people doing that with that turn assist like it's nothing, and just didn't even dawn on me. I wasn't even for high or low.
And I hadn't read the entire manual yet.
Yeah, she's going to read the manual, no doubt.
I'm a manual reader. I'm that kind of a nerd. I was like, oh yeah, babe, that's the problem you had because whatever.
As you were shaky cam trying to film it.
You hush. YouTube Car Spiders Guide says drink.
So sorry, YouTube Car Spiders Guide. And tonight is Bullet, the same as the last show.
I already told them, and I misspelled it, and then they made fun of me.
Hey, way to beat her up a little bit, guys. Thank you. So as we wind this down, man, you said you going to take it on some trips. Where's the one place that when you envisioned buying this thing, where was the one place that you were like, we're going there?
Oh, definitely Moab.
Yeah.
I mean, that won't happen this year just due to the constraints of wedding, and plus I'm already going out to Uray with a bunch of friends. But Moab for sure. I think that's just where that truck's going to be in its natural habitat.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. We're unfortunately have to go in June when it's going to start really getting really hot. Yeah. But
mid-June, I looked and it's a high of like 85.
No, but it's the sun that gets you there.
Yeah, but it's not that kind of heat.
Sure,
what they say.
Sure, it's not.
Andrea.
I was going to say it. Andrea.
He
I looked
always
at Kelly.
pronounces the name wrong.
I looked at Kelly. Congratulations on getting your VIN.
On your VIN. Yay!
That's a big deal, and thank you so much
for the super chat.
You guys are way too kind to us. We always appreciate that. So what's the first trail though at Moab?
I'm thinking Hell's Gate just for or Hell's Revenge / Hell's Gate just
get it out of the way.
Sake. Yeah, because I mean when I was there, Lauren Healy drove down and then back out of it.
I saw that. Yeah,
and then they had a Bronco Sport there, and they went up it twice.
Well, I'll be honest, like Moab, since you've been there, it's like you're driving on sandpaper.
Yeah.
For the most part, there was a video floating around of the old cop car or whatever it was driving all the trails, and it's a 2-wheel drive.
Yeah.
it kind of loses its luster a little bit. And I wanted to tell you too, Black Bear, you know what lost it for me on Black Bear was I was out there and all of a sudden you see these old couples just walking up Black Bear like it was nothing. And I'm in this vehicle going down it like scared shitless of like tumbling. And there's these just people on bicycles riding up it. I'm like, what the hell is this trail? Like, I feel like a wuss now.
Yeah, people must be living out there. They must be used to it. I know they do a marathon out there every year too.
Yeah, I think it was around that. I think they were training for the marathon, is what it was.
Yeah, that's. I'm way too old for that stuff.
You and me both. But this was like a 70-year-old couple. I kid you not, man.
Oh.
They had a new lease on life.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to do that ever.
That's what I'm just saying. They had a new lease on life. I hope we don't ever have to do that.
Oh, and Telluride, the best old fashioned I've ever had is in Telluride.
He keeps trying to find one, but he can't find one that's any good.
But I'm sorry, I'm like a squirrel.
I think about your rate this year when I was there earlier is that with COVID, they were having such trouble hiring people, like all the bars and stuff. Everything shuts down real early in that town anyway. Mm-hmm. But they were shutting down even an hour earlier, like 7 o'clock.
Wow.
And it was just like you had to get everything before everything shut down or you were just screwed.
Well, I heard Moab was the same way. And then, of course, Moab, they really did want a lot of people there. And people, we all went through 20 where you couldn't be there. And then 21, people wanted to go. And they just didn't have any help.
Yeah.
And as long as Zach's Pizza has help, I'm okay with that.
As long as they still have their ranch dressing.
Yeah.
Because I meant to tell you this earlier, but like how you said you were hoping like if you stayed over in Denver and all of that, well, altitude does not like me. Mm-mm. I get what they call diuretic altitude sickness. So I literally have to go to the bathroom every 15 minutes. No. So because it's purging all the water from my body. So it doesn't matter how much water I drink. It's so, driving from Denver to Moab, there's no bathrooms, like none whatsoever. And so like, I would tell him, I was like, I don't care, pull over or something because
there's those little, what is it?
Those little
come and goes or something.
Yeah. Those
gas stations.
No. And then there's like the national park porta potties or whatever.
Yeah.
And so like, I told him, I was like, we are going to have to stay in Denver this time because like, I can't do that stretch having to go to the bathroom every 15 minutes.
So we were doing an overland with Rogue Overland and we camped at Silverton and we did a Black Bear and then we did the other one, Imaging. And then we were driving back towards Vegas, all off road. And that quick coming out of the altitude, I got sick. Like I purged a lot of water.
Altitude is just crazy what it does to you.
So real quick question for you guys. Are you all going to any of the off-roadios?
No. I don't have a plan
I might. Yeah. But I don't.
The old dude, snooty old off-road guy in me is like,
yes.
I don't want to pay basically to drive a vehicle now that I have in my driveway. Yeah. But I do think for Kelly, and I probably could learn a few new tricks. Texas didn't sound appealing to me. Moab sounds appealing to do that one just because I like Moab. I do wish they had something in the South though. I think they're
a missed opportunity.
Very missed opportunity.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they did Vegas and Moab. It seems like Moab should have been sufficing and put one either in the Southeast or the Midwest or something because right now it's like those two are pretty close to each other.
Yeah, and since we off-road, we have off-roaded quite a bit with different vehicles. People ask and be like, what's the best place to go? And for me, I already know how I'm going to drive this vehicle in the terrain that we're used to. So for me, I would want to go somewhere that I don't typically drive. Mm-hmm. So because I don't want to be fighting, not literally fighting, but like fighting the urge to be like, I don't do that the way that that's not how I wheel. So like, I get that they're teaching you a different way. So I would want to go
combative with them too.
No, I wouldn't be. I'd be internally combative. I would be internally combative is what it would be. Well, I would be fighting the whole time inside.
Well, I got reservations for the one in Austin, and the simple reason is because it's my bachelor party weekend.
Yeah. Nice.
Well, Austin's fun.
2 birds, 1 stone. You
know,
go and this way I look at it too is I can try stuff with their vehicles. I got the insurance.
Yes.
Their vehicles that I may be a little unsure about with mine because I have to drive it every day.
Totally get it.
Yeah.
So I figured I'd use them as a guinea pig.
Well, Austin's just a fun town anyways.
Oh. Yeah.
I mean, it's the airport's just right in town. Like everything about Austin to travel.
Make sure you go to In-N-Out Burger.
Oh, God, yes.
At
Oh,
least
yeah.
twice.
And a
Oh,
lot of
you're from Texas. I forgot.
No, he's from
Yeah.
Tennessee.
No, I mean he's
Well, I
lived in
Texas,
Texas.
yeah.
That's what I was thinking. You've lived in Texas, so you get it. Yeah, we had our first In-N-Out burger when we went in September.
Mhm.
And yeah, so when we went to Vegas, we had an In-N-Out burger like right across the street from our hotel, but we never got a chance to go. And we were just like, dang it, man.
No, unfortunately, the people we were with wanted to go to that spiky haired dude's
Guy
place.
Fieri's place,
uh,
which was fun.
It was fun.
It was fun. The food
I
was
just
okay.
tired
this
from
stuff too, because every time I go to Tennessee, I always stop at Crystal's at least once.
Oh, yeah. Well, you have White Castle there, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is not.
Yeah,
it's not Crystal's. I mean, she's not a big Crystal fan either, but
I get a Crystal chicken. That's my extent of Crystal.
Yeah, mine's
nope.
chili cheese puffs. I don't get the burger.
Oh, okay. So there you go.
We'll mail you some. How about that?
I need some. Oh, you know what he could mail us? Some Giordano's.
Oh my god.
Oh, yes.
That was the one disappointment when we decided
We weren't going to
we
Chicago.
weren't going to Chicago. I was like, damn it, I wanted the pizza so bad.
But what I haven't told you is that they have a Giordano's in Florida,
Yeah.
in
They have
Orlando.
them in, like, the tourist cities. I'm surprised there's not one in Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge yet.
Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't yet either. I hadn't told him yet. I was going to surprise him, but I since we're talking about it, I'll break the good news to him.
Oh, nice. Now it's even more reason to go to Florida.
Wasn't for my parents or a bumper or anything.
Well,
No.
what the bumper.
Oh, wow. Wow. I hope
Well-
they're not watching.
Well, any final thoughts from being on our crazy show tonight, man?
No, it's a pleasure. I love watching your all shows. I did join as a member too. Just want to help
Oh,
support
thank
you guys.
you.
And,
Thank you.
Definitely looking forward to all the content to come, and seeing where this adventure that we're all on with the new Bronco takes us.
Well, guys, go over to Bird Dog Overland. It's pretty easy to find. I for some reason I wanted to call you Blind Dog. I was doing some research on you the other day,
You were.
and I was like, why do I not? I know this guy's channel.
Because you have it written up there as Blind Dog.
I do. I have it right over here on my calendars. And I was like, why can I not find this guy's channel? And then I looked at our private messages back and forth. And I was like, shit, idiot.
I can't believe you called yourself out.
Well, I'll call
It
myself
happens.
I'll call myself out in a heartbeat. But guys, go sub to his channel, man. It's a good Bronco channel. I literally like the 37s, the way you've done your vehicle. Super classy too. It's not like you didn't go crazy. I mean, some of these you see these deep dish wheels on them already, and I'm just like, oh my god, yeah. Not for me. If it's makes them happy, it's their vehicle, makes them happy. But the off-roader in me just sees all that money in those wheels going, they're not going to be worth much in a one trip.
Wow, my frugality has really.
No, I don't like deep dish on an off-road vehicle,
Okay.
anyways. But I'm trying to be nice, Kelly. But guys, go over there. Let's help Bird Dog get over that 1,000 mark. So hopefully there's 1,500 of you tend to watch these shows every week. So go support the people who are doing it the right way. So Jody, I want to say thank you for being on the show tonight. And guys, if you Jody talked about being in the chat for a little bit. So if you see you want to ask him a question, go ahead and feel free to. But it's battle time between me and Kelly. So once again, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Jody. We
Y'all
appreciate
have a good
you.
night.
You too.
There you go, Kelly. That was a good that was a lot of fun. Let's see. Oh, you tell me to hide that?
I am.
Okay, sorry. We need double mouses here. Mouse. I like mouses better. But seriously, guys, go over to that. I want to add his channel to the stream here real quick. Look at that. We can help a fellow Bronco enthusiast out there a little bit.
Refresh it. See if it's updated.
Do you think it has?
Maybe.
Look at that.
Woohoo!
Look at you guys.
Nice
Thank
job.
You.
That's 9 right there.
That is awesome. Thank you guys
See, I
for
did the math
for
real
helping him.
quickly. My Tito's hasn't kicked in that much yet.
You need to drink a little more
know.
Tito's tonight. Hey guys, you need to tell Kelly. You always are telling me to drink.
Wow.
Jeez, I'll do it. I'll do it willingly.
I just
You will
did.
do it willingly too. So,
I just did.
but all right. So, topic number 1. And I warned. I warned people on Facebook, and I try to stay away from Bronco 6G because
They don't like you.
Well, not it's that they don't like me. They just delete everything I do. But
Like I said, they don't like you.
It's the fact that, well, if I paid to be a sponsor, they'd really like me. But they're super. I mean, they are super nice people.
Pause a second before you go there. Guys, we have how many do we have in here?
77 so far.
Guys and gals, we have 72 watching, but 45 likes. So if you could minimize your chat if you're on the phone and just like the video. That's all we ask for you. And if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do.
Yes. But
tag your it.
And with Bird Dog too, like I don't want like we are nobody, but I feel like if we bring somebody on the show, I'm not bringing somebody on the show that I don't like.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like we have a good filter for people we watch on these channels. So definitely help his channel grow.
Oh, for sure. Just like we have no holds barred about telling you whether we like a product or not. It's the same thing. We're not going to bring somebody on we don't.
Which I'm speaking of that. And Mark, thank you so much, sir, for that.
Thank you, Marcina.
Let's throw that up there. And didn't even ask a question. Look at that.
I know it. Just throwing it at you.
Well,
I feel like we might be at a club somewhere. Devin said drink.
Oh, sorry.
Kelly, drink.
Oh, well, can I?
Mm-mm.
Too late.
You begged them to tell me to drink, and now you want to get all up in this.
All right. So topic 1 here. I was on Bronco. I've been waiting for this. So advanced fiberglass, if you guys do not know, and I'm sure you do, because obviously the hard tops have been an issue for Bronco. And so Ford has said in the hey, best way to get your Bronco is what, Kelly?
Soft top.
Soft top. So a lot of people, us included, we went with soft top. I warned everybody last May. I was like, hey, this is coming. In June, I did a whole video on it. And we followed our own advice and ended up getting a soft top, and we got our Bronco built.
We did.
But there's been these teasing, and everybody in the communities are like, oh, well, aftermarket's going to take care of this hard top problem anyways. Guys, so nice. Look, Kevin, thank you so much. Thank you a lot, guys. I do appreciate that a lot. And didn't even ask, Kevin, you didn't even ask a question in there. But I said this was coming.
Sorry, parenting.
Oh, I was like, what are you doing? Got a private, your own stream going on suddenly?
That's it.
Kelly After Dark over there. What's going on?
Wow. No OnlyFans for this girl.
Yeah. What about me? Can I have an OnlyFans?
That's on you, boo. As long as you bring some money home. That's
I'm sure there's somebody like my feed or something. All right, we're getting a little weird with that. But I said, hey, the people are like, oh, aftermarket's going to take care of this hard top problem. And I kind of sat back and people are like, oh, well, Ford's is just $600 for their hard top. And I just kind of giggled and I was like,
you did drop it a couple of times ago, guys. It's not going to be. It's not going to be. But then people were just like, well, it's only 6. Well, so it's just, you just walk away.
It's the mob effect, like that one person sees it and then 10 people see it and they just multiply the excitement, which advanced fiberglass came out with this top a couple of weeks ago and it looks really good. It damn near looks too good. It looks too much like Ford's top, which I think might get them in trouble with Ford because I told you guys that they were going to shut down the old script writing, and I'd already heard that Ford had sent cease and desist on those, and guess what? You can't find those now, but I do have a set that are going to be for sale, by the way, if you want them, because I don't want them on my truck now.
Whose truck?
My truck.
Who?
So the top Advanced Fiberworks, they were teasing everybody. They showed these cool CAD concept files of it, and it looked, I mean, I was impressed with what they did. And people are like, oh, Ford's only going to be $600. These are only going to be like, what, maybe $2,500 at the most. And I just giggled, man. I was like, that's not, if you looked how much their fenders are, their fenders with the hood and everything is, God, I forget. It's over $3,000, I think, for the fenders and the hood.
Sorry, I was paying only half attention to you.
might be over $3,000. Anyway, somebody in the chat will know. That, what do you think a top's going to be?
Right.
And then not just the top itself, shipping.
People
on
don't
anything.
think about that.
And we dealt with shipping because I used to sell aftermarket parts.
Yes. And I was the shipping department.
She still is the shipping department. But I just knew what that was going to cost. And of course, I'm tied to the community a little bit because I follow these things. Mm-hmm. And I'm not, sounds like a dick, but I'm not swayed by the hype of like, oh, this company's going to do this. It's going to be amazing. Mm-hmm. I'm usually sit back and go, okay, I want to see it come to fruition. And then we'll see what happens. But so,
sorry,
Jody,
you already have the script sold.
Oh, well, I didn't say what the price was going to be. So anyways, let me make sure I've got this right. So it popped up today. ADV Bronco hardtop pricing is announced. And guess why they're able to say this is because they are a sponsor of Bronco 6G. And once again, that's
level 3.
That's Bronco 6G's prerogative. Let's not act like they're out there to help the community. They're there because they're a conglomerate of they own all the forums. This company does. So
are they the big one that we had to deal with?
They're the part of the big ones.
Hmm.
So that's right. The pricing. So this week's information is exactly what you've been waiting for. That's right. Pricing.
Starting like retail. So exciting.
Yes. Well, it is exciting.
Well, but I mean, like it's such a deal.
Yeah. Starting retail pricing for the following models are: the one-piece hardtop is $5,250. The modular top is $5,750. And let's go through this. Kelly, read the rest of that for me.
Okay. I wasn't prepared. Pre-orders will be accepted starting February 28th at 4 p.m. Pacific time.
Ooh,
all orders must be placed on our website. For all those that are subscribed to our Bronco newsletter list, you will get an order link an hour earlier before the live on our website. You know what that means? Subscribe to our email list.
Which is, whatever.
Don't blame
me. We
him.
have one too on AllTerrainNation.com.
We do. We just need to actually send something out via email. We are sending out an email to the Bronco newsletter list to collect an estimated amount of tops that will be pre-ordered to provide an accurate production timeline. That timeline will be announced on 2/28 for all customers that are interested in the hardtop. Subscribe to our newsletter list for Bronco hardtop information. All newsletter subscribers will be the first to know about the new details. Please make sure to let the page fully load. It will show 3 boxes of information to fill out and to be added to the newsletter list. We will not blow up your inbox. AKA, please subscribe to our newsletter.
Yes. Now let's I haven't been to their website just yet, but here is
Jody said, how much over MSRP? Message me if you're serious.
Oh, these are like what's Bronco, like the Badlands is what, 30K plus?
No, she's talking.
I know what she's talking about. So I just got to do the math of that. What? No.
30,000.
We'll figure something out, Jody, if you do want those. Let's see. So here's the list.
Yep, we're serious. Just message us on YouTube or on Facebook, because I see that's how you're commenting. So just message us on Facebook on the AllTerrainNation page.
Right. So definitely they do the fenders. They look great. I will say the quality that this company does is great.
They look a lot better.
Fiberglass fenders, they don't just bolt on. You do have to work them a little bit, get the fitment just right. And I think Old Town and Country would attest to that. They just had theirs put on. But their fenders look great, and I have no reason to think.
Go ahead, keep talking.
That the tops will not look great, and I was hoping they had it on here. I wanted to see if they had the Bronco. Damn it! What kind of sorcery is this? Let's find. Do they have Bronco
over to the left? Up.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
It's alphabetical order, sir.
All right. So Bronco.
It has different stuff over there if you want to choose something.
I was looking for nothing. There's nothing on there about the actual top. But on Bronco 6G, they were showing it, and it looks good, guys. If you are interested in I'm gonna see if I can find it. If you're interested in these tops, they're great, but the problem being is these are unpainted tops. So you're going to get a very white base top. And I don't mean like white, like, oh, cool. If I have a white Bronco, it's going to look great.
Talking fiberglass white.
It's fiberglass white. And the price is say for the modular top, $5,700. Now go to have that painted. Well, first let's get it there, because at minimum, you're looking at $1,000 to ship this thing. At minimum, $1,000. And it's crate shipping. So guess what? You better have a loading dock to ship this to.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, they will not deliver it to a residential location.
So there, now you're $6,700, and you're probably $1,500, if not more, to have a good body shop paint that for you. And suddenly you're almost $8,000 into a hard top. Now, I've seen the rebuttals of Ford. Well, Ford says, oh, theirs is only $600. Theirs is $600 on top of the estimated price, their retail price. I think it's like $2,200 is what they charge technically for the soft top, or that's what they value it at. So you add another $600 to that, you're about $3,000 into a Ford hardtop. And then when you want to order that from Ford now, that was factory pricing. So now you want to order that same hardtop through your dealership. You're probably
Buy airplane mic.
Buy
Safe
airplane mic.
travels.
You're probably $4,500 to have it delivered to the Ford dealership.
Mm-hmm.
So I will still preach, if you want your Bronco now, get the soft top. And hardtops are coming. Ford will start shipping hardtops to dealerships that they want to sell.
Just be ready for a sticker shock.
Be ready for sticker shock on that. But I thought the ADV Bronco tops here, I figured they were going to be at $5,000 to $6,000, and it looks like we were pretty close to that, Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
Where would you be with that, with the pricing of that? Because you're our finance company here in the household. If I came to you and said, "Hey, baby, I love you. Can we get the hard top?"
Are we at 20,000 subscribers yet?
Damn, Kel, savage.
I mean, you asked.
But seriously, what are your thoughts on that?
In seriousness, though, I don't think it's worth it to me. Yes, I like a hard top on our Jeep Gladiator, but I don't think it's worth $5,000 to me.
Well,
I just don't.
Not when
personally.
I think Jeep. Somebody put it in one of these pages where you could buy Jeep's top for, it was about $2,500 for a 2-door. There's no way that
ice.
Oh, sorry, Boyd's Bar and Grill here.
I brought it up. You can
but I'm curious what you guys think in the chats about that. And by the way, this is the Bronco script that we have. That
shiny black.
You know what I think we'll do with these?
Yep, Devin, I refilled.
Jody, I would really like to sell these to you, but I'm also would really like to do some good for community. Let's put these up for auction for my Eagles.
Oh Lord, you guys. He's obsessed.
I think
with these Eagles lately.
I think it would be a good thing that we.
I hate that you just totally dropped that on Jody. That she's been looking for him.
Oh, I don't want to be a jerk, but Jody, if you want them, $100 shipped, I'll do that. Since you did jump out, and that's more than that's. I think they were $80, but the money's going to go
right.
To,
and the reason for it is because all of it'll go to these Eagles he's been watching.
Oh my God, guys, my Eagles.
He is like a dad to these Eagles.
I'm gonna bring this up because I'm seriously, I don't want people thinking I'm. This is where the money's, no matter.
Is it the Eagle Cam in Florida, Lone Wolf?
It's the American Eagle Foundation is who I will send this money to. So definitely that's where the money would go. I love these little Eagles. They're in Florida. I've somehow found these last week.
So yes, it must be Lone Wolf. It must be that Eagle Cam.
Yes.
You're talking about.
And rats, sky rats. She's sitting on her chicks or her eaglets, and
here's the thing. He knows which one is the alpha of them already.
I've watched them about 4 times.
Have you named them yet?
No, that's not for me to name. It's for me to enjoy watching these little
Lone
guys.
Wolf says been watching the same string.
Yeah, Lone Wolf, dude. But anyway, so the money, Jody, if you want them, we'll do that. And all the money is going to go to the American Eagle Foundation here. I will figure out a way. Here's their website. And I will figure out a way to donate that. And we'll take care of that. Because I like the scripts, but I kind of like the little triangle logo now. I bitched so much about that orange on the thing.
You did.
I just kind of like it now.
I mean, welcome. You can turn your Eagles off.
But I might need to watch them during the stream.
Legit, you guys. He comes home from work. Jody says sold.
All right.
Sweet. So just message us and we'll figure it out. There you go. And Cole, I answered your question. There's really no modding rules other than just don't let assholes be assholes.
What Cole want to be a mod?
No, he already is. And so he was just asking like, what are the rules? Because YouTube keeps blocking the cuss words, but he keeps approving them. We let it fly.
Yeah.
The moderator really is. I think
mobile is my one that always gets flagged before I can
always
let him.
Always.
But I as long as you're not being just hateful to somebody,
right? Or like adults. That one troll that was coming in. It was like Jeeps are better.
Oh, see, there's mobile got flagged on that one.
Mobile got flagged. There you go.
I don't even know what it says, but I'm letting
something about Aphid's ass.
All right. But anyway,
yeah.
so the money's going to go to my Eagles, and I'm going to be super excited to poor Jody there was still in the in the stream. So Kelly, did you see any? What were you guys talking about these tops?
I don't know about the tops.
Sorry, I got on a tangent there.
I'm Tito's in.
Oh man, gotta get comfortable here.
Omnipotent Elon started cussing just to see if it could get. And you didn't get punted. It must just know mobile moto.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody's noticed my new Mach. Well, it's not my new Mach 5.
Somebody did say it.
Did they see my Mach 5?
They did.
And my my amazing sticker from Japan.
How can I read?
Go ahead. I'm called buying you time.
Yes, it's a Mach 5 Devonay.
This is legitimately what they call Wendy's in Japan.
And I told him he was not allowed to put
is family and Ken is kitchen.
And I told him that he was not allowed to put that on my Bronco.
Yes, you guys should pressure Kelly into allowing me to put that on the bumper of the Bronco.
It's not going. I do not need to drop our daughter off at school with that on the back of it.
We're the cool parents.
I don't care. No, it actually funny side story. Our 24-year-old, yeah, he came home. What was it, like a week and a half ago or so, and told our daughter that was like, you just don't understand how cool our parents are, like comparatively to other people's parents. Like they just are. So anyway,
right. So the top question.
It's the vodka.
Where's Bronco Wild Outdoors saying there? I would say the tops are nice. Here, pop that over here. Hopefully you guys like this chat.
Sir.
And this is all due to Bronco Wild Outdoors, by the way. Dwayne had this software that I caught on to what he was using, and I was like, man, that's too nice to not give our people. So thank you, Dwayne, for having us on your stream. By the way, it's 4 hours or 3 hours and 50 minutes of Dave, Kelly, and Dwayne, and a little bit of Gavin. Gavin was on there for a minute. But he says, I will say the hard tops are nice, but I like the ease of my soft top as well. And Dwayne, you are one that if you have a minute, I would like to talk to you about that. I'll send you a link on Facebook if you want to join in on this, because I would like your opinion on this if you have time. But you can take it off now.
Yes, sir.
My producer Kelly here.
I'm just tagging this so we can remind it.
Okay. Let's see. ADV tops look slick, but I bet that's
for the most base version.
Oh yeah, base version.
Closer to 7K.
Oh yeah, because they're. I think they will paint. I do think they have a paint option, but they haven't said what the pricing will be on that just yet. But
well, it's just like any other modular product that people buy. Like you pay more for, what's that stuff we put on them? Powder coat. Sorry, guys.
Jeez.
I'm in a new role this week, and so like my brain is like totally fried absorbing all of it. So that's part of why you'll kind of get some words missing.
They expect top-notch Kelly.
I know.
You're letting our viewers down. Do you think Andrea there was helping the channel out, and she was like,
do you see what I have to deal with, you guys? You talk about me being so abusive to him. And I love that it's really not any of you that say it. You want me to abuse him. It's kind of funny.
Those birds are not endangered anymore. I don't care if they're endangered or not, Jay. I kind of like, those are my buddies now. So
he's ridiculous. He literally comes home and goes, the eaglets. Look at what the eaglets are doing. Oh, that one just.
There's an alpha.
That
the little
one just
chick
chomped the other one again.
He will peck the little bastard in the head when it's feeding time. He's like, no, I'm getting first dibs. Omnipotent pushing the buttons there.
I told you, trying and didn't get blocked.
What does Devin say there?
Where?
Right there.
For 30 minutes, something.
I think you're drinking there, Devin.
I think so too.
Any comments actually about the top?
I'm working on it. Mobile Moto says he's on YouTube's list. That's it.
Jay says no fucking way. I agree. Did Bronco Wild Outdoors. Let me borrow this just a second.
Heard the new hard tops still make noises, Ryan says.
Let's see. Yes. Well, so we were discussing that yesterday. We were in the
It
Jeep.
says you can send it in YouTube or you Messenger from there.
Oh, can you?
Yeah, it just said it. Right here. Sorry, we're new looking at new tools. There it is. Looky there.
All right, so we'll bring it when Dwayne gets a minute. We'll bring Dwayne on because I'm curious because Dwayne now has a hard top Bronco and a soft top Bronco. But I like the top, and I don't mean to sound mean about ADV's pricing because they have to price what Cole's asking us to read a comment.
Where?
Right here.
Please read G Will. Oh, G Willikers. I was actually just reading it. Thank you, Cole. Is it possible to buy a 1-year membership versus a month-to-month? I have to look. I know that I believe it's Cigar Texan has done 2 months at a time. So let me look into it and get back with you and let you know how that works.
Okay.
I will put that on my to-do list.
Hey, thank you for even thinking of the support. Sure. So I don't want you guys thinking that, man, we're really squirrely now. That we're crapping on these hard tops because I think, like I said, their fenders, I saw their fenders out at SEMA are amazing. And I would like to have those guys on the show just to discuss this. But they're also in the business to make money. Now, is building Bronco soft or hard tops going to make them millionaires? No, not at all. But I do think that they're trying to fill a void.
He wants it sent via email.
All right.
Yep, Dwayne, it's coming.
Sorry. I don't think that
I can do it. You
all right. That they're trying to get super rich on these things. And once again, they are filling a void that Ford seems to be having a problem with. And it's not necessarily Ford exactly. It's Webasto's. And they're doing the best they can, man. They're cranking over 300 tops now per shift. But the problem is there's a lot more, they were I think they were getting over 600 Broncos out now per shift or per maybe day. I can't remember. I haven't paid attention to this in a while. And Kelly's emails here kind of
sent Dwayne.
All right.
I sent it to the second one.
At the end of the day, I think it's probably a better top. It's fiberglass though, so it's going to be heavy. And I know for us, the lighter the better off-roading. So having the soft top will save us a little bit of weight. And I just, like Dwayne was talking about, and I think he'll jump in and probably discuss this a little bit. I think that the soft top is so easy, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, for sure. Sorry, I was laughing at Omnipotent Elon saying beat his ass, Kelly. You get the green light.
Damn.
Greg, no, I don't want it pink.
Hmm?
Greg says wrap Kelly's Bronco pink.
No, it's my Bronco for one thing, and two, it's I've teased the image. If I can just get the it actually printed. Our buddy over at Lifestyle Off-Road, he wrapped a black one, a matte black this week, and it looked really good. But to end on the top, once again, I'm not beating up the company making it. They're doing the best they can within what the market will allow. And I just don't see them. How many tops do you think they sell in this group buy?
Don't throw a number at me like that.
20 maybe?
I think it just depends. Like, because you've got people that bought at a $30,000 markup on some of these vehicles.
So they can't afford the top.
That's not the way that I was thinking. I was thinking the opposite way.
Oh, no, I mean, obviously, yes, I'm being facetious, but
yet in YouTube Car Spiders Guide, not purple either. No, I like the color we have on our truck.
Red?
Yeah, I like our red.
There was that purple one that popped up this past week.
Yeah, that one looked pretty cool, but
it's not for me.
It's not for us.
No.
I
didn't like the black top with it. And I like the dark.
Oh, see, I didn't have a problem with the top with it. I didn't have a problem with the top with it.
How's that sponsor? 67 rail.
You mean the anti-sponsored rail?
We found one tiny flaw with it.
Yes.
And it's not really their fault. I would say it's more Ford's fault of slight dash quality.
Yeah.
But if you push the rail down because I was letting it rest on the dash. We noticed it was marking the dash slightly.
It was rubbing a little bit. So we're gonna have to get. And it was a little loose today.
Some foam. What was loose?
Your side of your.
Well, I loosened it because we were recording that video.
That's why I quit messing with it.
But no, as far as that, I'm gonna put a slight piece of foam on the very bottom of the carbon fiber because I like my phone as low as possible. But other than that, I mean that's not their fault. It's been great. I know Overlanding for Fun did a video. I shared it on our Facebook page, and I did that, and I like how he did a nice install on his.
Yeah, I like the idea of the stealth. Jody messaged the stealth.
Overland for Fun is now Bronco Santa.
Oh,
That's what I've named Tim. Tim is Bronco Santa because if you watch his videos, Tim's got this cool beard, and I can't compete with that. So now we've got the man there on stream. Look at him. He was like, I'm trying to read emails, Dave. What are you doing to me? Dwayne, I wanted to. And once again, thank you for introducing us to StreamYards. I really like the quickness of this. And you did one with me where it was like 16 layers of trying to do a live stream, and this is so much easier. But so Dwayne, you now have a soft top Bronco and a hard top Bronco. And I'm curious, for one, your opinions of each of those tops, but where do you stand with the ADV top?
Okay, well, I don't. Can you hear me good? By the way,
Yeah.
We didn't get a chance to prep this, so
I know.
I ran up. I was like watching the other TV. I was like, oh crap, let me turn all the lights on here. Appreciate you having me, by the way.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Hello, Kelly.
Hello.
So as far as the tops are concerned, let me start with the two Badlands, 21, 22. I like. There's something about the hardtop that I really like. I don't like the noise, the clicking, the squeaking, and all that good stuff. So there's a little bit that it seems to be over the driver's, what do you want to say, panel over the driver's side. So we're going to work on a fix for that, I think. I don't know if you saw my live stream last night, but I was joking. I said, well, if it doesn't work out, I won't drop the video.
No, I did see that. Yes.
Yeah, but if it does, I will. But no, seriously, we have an idea what we can do to fix it. And I think that wouldn't be the fix that the top manufacturer would do, but they could take that idea and run with it and do it. So we'll see if it works out. I really like, though, I said in the beginning, it wasn't, it seemed to be, it was close, right? In noise, road noise. And we all know that we have a vehicle, we can remove the doors and the tops like Overlanding for Fun was talking about. It's going to make some noise. But the soft top is, when you're on a longer trip, it seems to be a lot quieter.
Really?
Yeah, it does. What happens is when you're driving it initially, it doesn't seem like a big deal. But when you're over a longer period, maybe an hour drive, you start to get less of that noise. Like, it's starting to, I don't know. It's strange. It's hard to tell you. So the insulated top is definitely, I like it. I really do. Now, here's the thing. The soft top is still my favorite because in 10 seconds that you can have the back and you have basically a convertible.
Yeah.
And when you do it a couple of times in 20 minutes or so, you have the windows out and you have it completely back.
Yeah. So where do you stand though with the idea? Because I know you got your Bronco. I know initially you had talked about wanting a hard top, and you made the switch wanting, hey, I want a Bronco. So it was an acceptable changeover to you. But where do you stand with some of these companies now, like this ADV bringing out hard tops, and then sticker shock, I think, to a lot of people who thought, oh, it's going to be $2,000.
Right.
I mean,
or that initial line item that when you were speccing your Bronco, it was like $680 or whatever it was. Yeah. It looks really good there. I don't know a lot about the tops to really talk that, in detail, but I can tell you that sticker shock is probably the number one thing. I mean, most people are thinking that it was going to be a lot less, and then here we go. Who knows what Ford's price is going to be? I would hope that there would be something for someone that switched from an MIC to a soft top that maybe there's a little bit of help there. But I will tell you, I'm worried about weight. What's the weight of these tops going to be? I mean, I don't know. Did you talk about the weight? Because I was trying to rush up and get
we
connected.
did. Yeah,
here.
we hinted a little bit about it's fiberglass. It's going to be heavier.
Yeah. Right. So, there was the one company that made the metal top. You can imagine how heavy that was, right?
Yes.
And that was sort of like a one-off thing. I don't know. I can tell you if you deal with factory components, I have 2 of them now, so I can tell you one over the other. There's pluses and minuses to both, right? I do like it's a little bit quieter for the MIC. I like the look of the MIC, especially with that eruption green.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the molded in color, that color that you have on the grill, the mirrors, door handles, and the top really looks good with eruption green. It's okay with Area 51. I like it. I think certain colors, though, I don't know, like it might not look as good, right? As far as of course, when we're all anticipating painted tops, right?
Mhm.
So, if I did something crazy, we were talking about last night to the eruption green, it would be an off-white color top. And I know the dirt, road grime, mold, whatever that you get on that, I get that. But I think the coolness of it, right? The green, the off-white top, grill, and wheels. But as far as the tops are concerned, I like between the two, they have pluses and minuses. The roof-mounted tent idea, the luggage racks, or the roof racks, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
All of that is great. I love that. But the soft top, there is nothing like that soft top being back. And as you know, driving around in the snow, you can have that top back in just a second.
Mm-hmm.
We were on a live stream. What was it? We did the Instagram thing last Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And while I was talking to you, you unlatched the top and had it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
In the Starbucks drive-thru.
in the 19 degrees.
Yes.
You're brave. Both of you are brave.
Dwayne, I challenge you. You gotta in the next snow, you gotta go topless for a minute.
Yeah. So that was the Johnny thing, though, right?
Yeah.
Like,
No, but I'm
waiting on
challenging
Johnny to do
I'm
it.
challenging all Bronco guys now to do it.
Yeah. So we will. We'll definitely do it. Actually, I wanted to do it last time. The timing wasn't right. We couldn't
Sure,
get the one out,
sure.
whatever. So I know everybody jokes. My Area 51s doesn't have one speck of dirt on it, but the eruption green is like road salt, 1,000 miles in 2 weeks, so you can see which one's getting run to death, right?
Well, the green one's your middle child now, right?
It
Like,
is.
the
It
white-
is.
The middle
wife's-
child doesn't always get the attention.
No, the wife's driving the green one.
Most of the time.
Most of the time she's driving it.
So
that's part of it.
Haley had it on her 18th birthday, so that was kind of fun.
Oh.
Yeah. So you see, you're right. The middle child, you get a little more freedom.
Right.
As far as the tops are concerned, I think that people that waited or they switched to a soft top and really they don't like the top might be more disappointed. But I wonder how many people switched to the soft top thinking they weren't going to like it. And like me, they actually really do like it. So they could care less about the hard top.
Right. So I've got a picture of the one-piece top up here on the screen,
Nice.
which looks, obviously this is a rendering. This is not a actual production.
I'd also be
version.
curious on how this baby comes off
Well,
because it's going to be awkward.
I think for one-piece tops, I don't think if you get a one-piece top, you're probably not interested in taking it off.
Yeah.
But the problem that I keep going back to is shipping. This thing is going to be a monster to ship.
Especially this thing.
Yeah.
One piece.
Can you imagine the crate that that's going to be in?
No.
Well, and that's what I was saying. I think it might have been when you were trying to get ready was you've got to have a warehouse.
It'll be like a
crate.
mattress being delivered to your house is essentially like the size of it. I mean, that's it. That's the size of it.
Yeah, but you're
So
talking ground shipping.
No, I know.
So here's
but
the
I'm saying
question: when
try.
will you be able to buy it on Amazon?
Right.
Right. Yeah. Come on, Amazon. Where are you at with this?
Where
It'll
are
be one
you?
of those upcharged ones, though. It'll be like extra shipping on it. It won't be Prime.
But they've got like the painted. This is how this thing should have came. Where are you going, there,
Right.
Kelly?
I'm just looking.
But they're not painted for that price either. And I think that's going to be a sticker shock to people too. Is fiberglass is not difficult to paint,
Right.
but there will be some prep to that. And anything fiberglass I've ever dealt with, you have to massage it to make it work. The cool thing about those fenders are they look great when they're on the vehicle, but those fenders took some massaging from a body shop to get them to look factory. So does this top does this top then in turn need a slight massaging to make it work right? And then if you get the 2-piece top, does it leak? And obviously they're going to try to put the best product out they can, but it just leaves me to the point of there's a lot of, for that kind of price, there's a lot of ifs.
Yeah, we had a monsoon here today in southeastern Virginia, and so of course I went out and checked the top. Okay, well, it didn't leak during the snow. We had the heat on and the snow on top, and then I cleaned the snow off the top. No leaks, no anything. The MIC top is really nice. I've looked at the edges, I've looked at the color, the overall fit and finish. It's really nice, but you have just that clicking. So I think that if you really want to, if you want a hard top, the MIC is probably the way to go. Now, aftermarket, this is going to grow too. The longer we go, the more companies are going to get into. You said, I'll give you a lot of credit, Dave, because I was prepared when Estevan, I said it in a quote earlier, that when Estevan said, if you don't have a build date at this point, or at least as of today, you need to switch to a soft top or you're going to be 22. So I switched. Yeah. But I was prepared to make that switch based on all of this top stuff that, you're releasing a lot of that early. And I think the other thing, the soft top is something that we've grown to really like. And I know it's easy when you have one of each, right? I hate saying that, being there's a lot of people waiting. They've been waiting since day one. So just like our guest before, it's not like you were selected by that dealership to be special. It just happened. It just happened. And so in a perfect world, it would be later this year, but whatever. So I'm able to review both of these tops. You have the different colors. There's some cool stuff in it. I don't know if it's top related. Well, it's not. It wouldn't be top related, top related. The 22 Bronco, for some reason, is higher than the 21. Video coming. So we had them sitting in the garage and we're measuring, and I'm thinking, well, I don't think I've worn that much tread off of the other one at 2,000 miles. So, and you would think that the MIC is heavier than the soft top. So if anything, it would be
spring settling, maybe.
It could be. I mean, we're going to do the rear sway bar has been added, but that's not changing the height. And I mean, we're measuring from the mirror, from the bottom of the fender flares down, and there's a 1/4 inch difference. Yeah. Now here's what we're going to do. We're going to make sure they're both full of gas. Right. So we're going to try to control this thing as everything is exactly the same. No one's in one and not the other. So we'll see. But as far as the tops are concerned, I really do believe that if you want a hard top, you're either two situations. You need to wait for MIC.
Or you're going to pay for it.
Or you're going to pay for it. I mean, one of the two. Right, Kelly. That's it.
Those are really your two options in the world we're living in right now. And the thing of it is which one do you want to wait for? Do you want to wait for the hard top to come in after you've got your Bronco, or do you just want to wait on your Bronco and hope that the chip shortage gets sorted, the plants close down, get sorted, all the other 2021 stuff that we thought we were done with is now happening again in 2022 from that perspective?
Well, somebody had an interesting question. Where was it for you, Dwayne?
I didn't flag it, so I don't know.
I know you didn't. If you were to spec a third Bronco, what would your specs be now?
2-door MIC.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which Badlands or
Badlands? I really like the Badlands. So when you look at the components, I mean, it would be interesting to have a different trim. But when you look at, I've wrenched on enough vehicles in the past. I don't want to do it now. So the stuff we're doing is that cool bolt-on stuff.
Yeah.
I like everything that comes with the Badlands. It's ready for whatever I want to do. Personally, what I want to do off-road. I would say my wife really likes the idea of a 2-door. She thinks it's sporty. She likes this 2-door Sasquatch.
Dude, you're in heaven right now because the idea, keep adding to your Bronco fleet over there.
Yeah.
Man. You're stable of vehicles.
We've put in our request to get the Raptor.
Nice.
From the dealer. That is sort of like the lottery ticket. I don't want to get into a bidding war. At some point I am financially responsible.
Sure.
Even though it might not look like it with two Bronco. Yeah.
At some point.
That. So I don't want to get into a bidding war, because then if you really, you have to think past that. So hopefully the cards play out. So we'll end up with one. Now, if we don't, it was like the interview we had last night with Trail Cartel. Like either way, it would be cool, but I'm not going to lose any sleep if I don't.
Yeah.
But I think the most realistic third Bronco would be the 2-door.
Mm-hmm.
And probably a 23, 21, 22, 23.
Mm-hmm.
And then my kids will have something to drive. That's my excuse. I'm like, Becky, trust me, the kids, right? You love our kids, right? We need another Bronco.
Wow. You just dropped the love on the mom.
Yeah, you do what you have to do.
Well, we had this conversation with our daughter yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
I think it was, because we were at the grandparents, and we were talking about how, we're going to eventually get rid of the Gladiator. The Gladiator really wasn't supposed to be here when we had the Bronco too. And just, like you said, fiscal life lessons that you have to make decisions on. And she is 11 and she goes, Mom, Dad said the Gladiator was going to be my first vehicle. And I said, first of all, if Dad said that, you
Dad's
are
in
11
trouble.
years old. There is no way in Hades that you are driving a 5-year-old vehicle at that time.
We need 100,000 subs tomorrow.
And she goes, why'd you say Hades? And I said, because I was being courteous. No way in hell are you getting to drive a 5-year-old vehicle that we're probably paying payments on, So it's like, no. Yeah,
well, I mean, let's face it, the YouTube thing, as your channel's obviously doing very well, growing, but I think we're trying to add some real value to this stuff, and having the Gladiator on your end with the Bronco is the perfect mix.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it really is. And then on my end, this is 21 to 22.
Oh, for sure.
You start throwing measuring tapes around. It's like, wait a minute, there's a difference here.
Yeah. When you can see them right next to each other, and they should be apples and apples versus apples and oranges.
Yeah. At the dealer, my daughter says the green one looks taller. And I was like, no, it's just the color. It's the way they're parked. And, and then there's a Ford GT being delivered. So
you're too focused on something else.
I've lost my mind anyway.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
So we're getting a second Bronco. There's this GT, and one of the car builders shows up with the car to set it up for the buyer. And
oh, wow.
I'm just like trying to, and we had a
You're
snowstorm coming
in. Your
in.
mind.
I'm like, God.
Was it the English guy? The guy that talks over, because there's an English guy on the East Coast I know that does all the deliveries. Super cool guy.
No. This was I don't know his name. He wasn't English.
Okay.
He was pretty cool guy, real nice, decked out in black with just Ford GT written on his jacket. And the buyers there, it was just the coolest experience in the world. Did you see my Instagram post with that?
I don't think I did on that one.
Yeah, I need to do a short little video on it, but and the buyer of the car was one of the coolest guys I've ever talked to. Like we talked for probably 15 minutes, and he's really focused on our conversation. I'm like, dude, how are you focused on me? You've got your GT sitting right here.
Because he has his GT sitting right there.
He's just a cool guy.
Those guys, I think, waited even longer than the Bronco guy to get their GTs. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it is, and that's something that you put the money up for it and you forget it. Like set it and forget it. Remember the old infomercial, whatever the thing was, set it and forget it. And you just leave it alone, because with the Bronco, a lot of people sold a vehicle, or they need a vehicle, and now they're in that kind of limbo. What do I buy something?
I'm sure you've gotten many emails. I know I have a lot of questions about, hey, I sold, they were going to build my Bronco. It said they're building my Bronco this week or whatever. And
then you're pushed off.
I sold my vehicle. And you're like, well,
yeah,
don't make a move till you see a Bronco. But
right.
Hey, quick question here. Greg Lawson, if I could say it right. What is the overall weight and weight capacity of the top? Do you think this advanced fiberworks is going to be the same as the OEM for what it can hold?
That's a good question. That just all depends on the structure of their fiberglass, or how I guess I'm not a fiberglass expert, but I know it's all in the process of building it, how thick it is. I know because it's a heavier top doesn't mean it would hold more, but it would seem that fiberglass would maybe hold more than the core. You would think, right? Than the MIC. That's a very good question. I have no idea. And see, these aftermarket tops is something that's not, top of my
regulated.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out as we go.
Bronco 78 says, yes, my 5 girls are playing the card on me to needing their own Bronco as well.
Time to get a job.
Yeah. So Bronco 78, by the way, he has me figured out. On one of our live streams, he was mentioning I blamed Gavin eating all the cookies, and like in between in the back seat. And he's like, yeah, I blame it on my kids too. So
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. He's got me all figured out. But yeah, no, really the kids are working. Hey, this Bronco's cool. And my daughter Haley is actually getting ready to walk by here right now, but I don't think she wants to be on camera. She really likes it,
Yeah.
How do you like the Bronco, by the way?
Very cool.
Very cool. Well, they can't see you. You're over here.
Look terrible.
Like
Say hi.
Cool, Dad.
Say hi. Say hi to the YouTube world real quick.
Hi. I just got back from the gym.
So
I
this
look
is
awful.
this is my 18-year-old daughter. So how'd you like driving the Bronco?
It was really cool.
Is
That's
it
awesome.
We could
Yeah.
tell by the smiles
It's
when
fun.
in the video.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
So
She's like, can I go now, Dad?
So seriously, do you want your own Bronco?
Yeah, I want a white one
You want a white one?
with black
Oh.
wheels.
You heard it.
She
With
wants
black
She
wheels?
wants
Yeah.
the OJ.
You want the
OJ
OJ?
Bronco.
You want the 2-door or 4-door?
Two-door.
God, that's
That'd be
it. So now I can convince my wife. She
Fourth-
wants it. It's
There's
a
your third
2-door.
one.
Yeah. All right. So we just
Nice.
bought another Bronco. Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Suddenly,
Nice to meet
Dwayne
you.
has 7 Broncos, and his construction company or whatever he does there is bankrupt because of Broncos.
Yeah. Right. Hang on. So if someone wants to buy a house in southeastern Virginia, please look. Yeah. So yeah, we
Dwayne needs Bronco money.
we
We
need
may
Bronco
eventually
money.
build, and then Dwayne can come build our house for us. How about that?
Yeah.
He knows
Well,
how to do
we-
it quickly.
I
Well,
know. That's what I hear.
It's my little badge. This is my guys right here behind me. My badge of honor. If you ever say you have 15 minutes of fame, like a splash in the pan, that was mine.
Mhm.
But no, really, the Bronco thing for us, and I think I've said it over and over, whether it be waiting on the top or switching from a hard top to a soft top, or which trim are you at? Some people like one trim over the other. All of it is it's just great conversation, right? It's cool to see an 18-year-old that really wants a Bronco. Like,
Oh yeah.
Or an
She's-
18-year-old that wants to drive anymore.
Yeah. These days.
she wants, like, when can I drive it to school? And I'm thinking, I'd have to be heavily medicated, I think, for this one, but whatever. So maybe she is, she's a senior. So maybe by the end of the year, she gets to drive it to school. So
When Tim says, Dave, you just described my situation. I sold my Escape after seeing my Bronco in production. Hopefully, they're quick about it, Tim. But I know there was a couple early on in this conversation was talking about, hey, I got my kickback. And we're seeing that a lot right now, Dwayne, of just
Oh yeah. Pushback.
of a lot of pushbacks. Chip issues of really starting to bite Bronco in the booty a little bit. And where do you at with all this?
Well, so a few weeks ago, actually maybe about a month ago, I was watching another channel, and I don't know if I want to say their name or not, but they're real cool father and son guys, and they were talking about chip shortages for all manufacturers at the first of the year. So I guess it was maybe right before Christmas. So what are we, February? So 2 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And they were talking about it, and it's like you hear a lot of stuff, and they're pretty legit. Everything that they're talking about seems to pan out, and I'm like, okay, well, do we do a story on it?
I know this channel.
Yeah, and they seem pretty straight up, and they know their stuff. And sure enough, here we are, February, and we have Ice Mountain they're calling it now.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel really bad. We were talking. Tony and I were talking last night. There's no one on this planet that wants those Broncos out of map more than Ford.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
And if
They want to be done with that.
If they could do anything to move these, they would. I mean, move heaven and earth, right? But
Yeah, and
I-
go ahead. Sorry.
I was just saying, I don't know enough about I'm learning about the chip processing part.
Mhm.
I know that things are changing, but it's taking a while for the new factories to come online.
Mm-hmm.
I know just in time is being modified to hold certain chips. Think about the chip thing. I personally think that the lack of the temperature in the climate control knob, I think it's a chip issue.
Oh, I would say so.
Because it was a running change, that was
Yeah.
something that just kind of happened.
Well, if you look at the Raptor too, there you see it. That's still in the Raptor, that control system, which
for sure.
is kind of like I like it, but
Yeah.
at the same point, it's my Jeep does exactly what your 22 does. It puts it in the
Yep.
display screen. It's not
I'll be honest, I like it on the dial,
Mhm.
but it also shows me on it also shows me on the screen,
The
doesn't it?
info, yeah.
Yeah, it shows on the screen too. So it's like it's in two places. To your point, you really don't need them both.
Well, that was a shock for me. You know, I looked at it, it's like, okay, well, and I didn't know until after I owned it that we had a sway bar at it. I'm like,
Yeah, I
okay, this
remember
is cool.
your walk around talking about that.
Yeah, and then we had we were driving home, and they started putting the brine down on the road, and the brine comes out of the truck in these nozzles,
Mm-hmm.
and so I keep getting, I don't know why I can't remember the lane assist or
Mhm.
lane keep. It was picking up those lines, and it was kind of,
Trying to sway you.
Yeah, a little bit. And I was thinking, well, the steering on this thing's a little different, and it took me a minute to realize, well, they just put the brine down right before, we were there. So it's strange, and the shifting, and I know people have said that, the transmission, which I know engines, but I'm not was a 10R60 expert, but apparently the transmissions learn the driving habits to a point.
Mhm.
And if that's true, I can get it because I babied the Area 51 a little bit more than this one. This one here's, we're not, running it to death, but I mean, it's getting driven a lot more frequent by 3 different drivers. So who knows what it's trying to learn?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Versus just me.
And then ours.
Well,
yeah,
I get to
Mostly
drive
me.
mine on the weekends, I guess.
It's a weekend car.
It's a
for me.
custody thing.
I was going to say, you get weekends, she gets during the week. Yeah.
Well, it's funny because we did the MPG eco versus normal video this weekend, and we did the eco first, and then he was like, well, you're going to drive for the normal. I said, no, I'm not. I said, you're going to drive for that. I mean, if we're going to do consistency, because he was telling me, he's like, and I don't really get into it right here, and da da da. And I'm thinking, this is just setting it up for disaster. If you want me to drive the exact same way that you did, to your point, over time, the vehicle's going to learn how
You're
it's driving. And I have a lead foot. So I'm going to mess up the whole thing if we start comparing apples and oranges.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, you told me you were accelerating rather heavily on the interstate one day.
I am.
I like it. Good for you.
I'm a bit of it's funny because, quick side story, I was in college and I kept getting speeding tickets. And my mom was like, you need to stop speeding. She's like, what was your speeding ticket now? And I said it was 86 and a 60. And she said, wasn't your last one 86 and something else? And I was like, maybe. And I was a server at the time because I was in college, and it was like 86 is when when you're out of something, when you need to quit doing something. And she's like,
Right.
I'm pretty sure that the universe is telling you that you need to stop driving 86. And I was like, okay.
Well, when we finally meet face to face in Supercell East, you and Becky are going to have to take the Broncos out, and y'all can just go ripping it down the street or whatever. So.
I'm waiting for the race between you. I keep suggesting this race because knowing my wife, I would lose.
Yeah, well, and that's part of it is I'm worried about let's break it in, let's take care, and she's just let's go. So I think the Outer Banks, the Outer Banks is going to be our fun, right? When we head down the beach. However, a lot of people, it's not like some of the dunes you see on the videos. You have to drive like you're driving on a road there. I mean, exact same rules and regs. So that kind of dampens it down a little bit.
Well, so Overlanding for Fun, who you had on your show 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, Tim.
Tim's like, I think the climate control readout chip not being on board the 22 Bronco is the cause for the height difference.
Just that chip.
The added was it silicone or silica or whatever in the chip. You're right. Yeah, there you go. We've solved the 1/4 inch height issue.
Well, I think they store that in the rear of the vehicle.
Thanks for joining us.
So that particular chip is in the rear, and it causes it to sag just a little bit. So Dwayne, what is coming up for your show? What do you got planned?
So we have the hopeful top fix for us, whether it's not a fix for everyone, but it'll be for us. Especially, I'm going on a road trip this weekend, and I really don't want to hear it. So we're doing that.
We are too.
Are you? Cool.
We're going to Florida.
Okay. Well, I'm going almost to South Carolina, so I'll be. Who knows? Maybe we'll just keep driving and meet you in Florida. We have a video on bumpers between the modular and capable that we're working on right now. You ever shot an entire video and realized it just didn't pan out and you're going to do it all over
yeah.
again?
Oh yeah.
Okay, well, that's where I'm at. And I froze yesterday for no good reason.
Oh,
But qualities is key to us. So we want to try to make sure but it's interesting. What do we have? 4 different bumpers on the Bronco.
Yeah. Well, there's the plastic one, then there's your capable that you have now. There's the heavy duty. And
Modular.
I think the base gets sort of its own.
Right. So there's
bumper.
entire plastic, and then plastic with fog lights, and then capable, which has a little bit of plastic on it, and then the modular.
Yeah.
So if I'm right, somebody correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh, they will.
I know. I've almost made it a year on YouTube. I'm glad I don't have thin skin. This is cool though. I love it. I love there's a few of my technical videos that I've been corrected on quite a bit. And it's good. I really receive it well,
Try being an auto journalist group. And I shared my miles per gallon thing today, and I got ripped up that I didn't drive 200 miles each way. And the guy starts breaking down tires, pressures, and all this stuff. And I was like, my video wasn't even really about miles per gallon. It was just like here's what the differences are. And I told another journalist friend, I was like, this is why these magazine guys don't survive, because they don't know YouTube. They don't know our audience. Anyway,
Right.
Sorry, Dwayne.
good
Well,
night,
no.
if omnipotent. I'm sorry. I just wanted to say good night, omnipotent Alon. He says his wife is calling him and he doesn't want to get the Kelly treatment. So
Oh man,
I'm so abusive.
No, you're not. You're awesome. I can't wait to meet you in Supercell, by the way.
I've got a lot of makeup on this black eye, Dwayne.
Oh
Yeah, I hear you. You're just playing right into it, right?
It does. He does.
Send super chats for makeup or something. Yeah.
Right.
So we have the bumper video, we have the top video, and then we have this little road trip we're doing this weekend, which is sort of a family thing, but we have to film it.
Sure, we do. That's what we do.
We're gonna see some family members we haven't seen in a while, and then right after that, we're trying to do something where we get the Broncos dirty.
Nice.
And that, where I live, this time of the year is complicated. So we actually have a Jeep dealership about a 30 minutes from where I live that has a course behind their dealership. And I think anybody can do it. So I think we might kind of hang out with some Jeep people there and kind of have some fun.
You got to troll them a little bit, though.
I tell everybody it's fun banter. I have a friend of mine that's a diehard Jeep guy, and we're back and forth. But at the end of the day, look, if we all like the same thing, it'd be boring.
Oh yeah,
I'm like,
it's true.
Cool, let's roll. But I still want to pull them out of a ditch one day.
Right. So with Supercell, and I appreciate you being on here like this.
Hey, absolutely, thanks.
Supercell, what is your goals for Supercell? I mean, you were there last year. I think it's going to be slightly different this year. I think Bronco Nation and some of these guys, they'll have some. I think they might still do the drives. Who knows?
Night, Brent. Have a good night. Thanks for joining.
And guys, we have a bunch of people in here. If you guys could smash that like button for me, I'd appreciate that. It just helps us. But with Supercell, I think this year is going to be a little different for us, man. I think there was so much excitement last year of getting to actually see one of these things in person. Yep. Actually getting to ride in it was a big deal. We're going to see, I think, so many 6th gen Broncos there this year. What are your plans?
So my plans, as of right now, is to show up with two Broncos and a little bit of merchandise. Yeah, we kind of roll out our Driven Wild gear stuff, and I just want to kind of have fun, really meet a lot of people. There's a lot of folks like yourself, that you and Kelly, that we've met through this whole Bronco experience, and it's going to be nice to be able to hang out, right, and kind of catch up and maybe brainstorm and talk about where we're going and. Later 22 and into 23, how does the Bronco community roll into, like I said, 23, the next year, right? So this will be what, April 20th to 23rd. What are we going to do for the rest of the year? We have Carlisle planned. We have a couple of events in Roanoke. We had an event planned that we were going to put our Broncos, both of them, inside of the Roanoke Convention Center, I think it is, or community center or something like that. But it's a 3-day event. You park it early Friday. You can't leave till late Sunday. And it's just, I think we're going back out of that. But there's a few different events that in Roanoke, which is pretty cool. And there's some really good trails that way. You know, the plans for Supercell really is to meet a lot of people that we've met here online and show up with our Broncos. And, you know, I mean, there'll be no major mods on either one by then, just a few small things. So what about you?
Well, we have a display.
Mhm.
We've partnered with Lifestyle Off-Road. We pick up our bumper this weekend for that.
Awesome.
Maybe have something else by then. I don't know. But we have a 50 by
20, I think is
20
what you
booth.
said.
Wow.
And we'll have 2 Broncos in there. We're gonna have some merch and stuff like that. But it's like you. It's more about kind of meeting the audience a
Right.
little bit and putting a face to the names we see here.
Yeah, and I think seeing all the modified, we were talking about last night, so it's either going to be performance related or custom, but either way, there's going to be a lot of 6th-gen Broncos there that's going to be heavily modified, cosmetic, or, you know, a lot of stock ones as well. So I think it's going to be cool seeing the stuff that maybe you've thought about doing to your Bronco, but you're on the fence about, and then when you get to see it, it'll help you make that decision.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what it's actually going to do this year, because last year nobody had the Bronco, or nobody had Broncos, like the Gen 6s.
People had flown from Hawaii to attend that one last year.
Yeah, we were actually, and they couldn't get in to ride the Bronco because
Wow.
it
They
was
didn't
just like,
sign up
they
in
didn't
time.
sign up in time or something, so they missed it. And so it's like, and then we ran into a viewer there that was like, "Hey, aren't you guys blah blah blah?"
Sure.
Well, it wasn't me at the time; it was just you. But yeah, they were like, "Oh
I think
yeah,
it's Devin somebody. I don't think it's the same one that we see here.
No, but yeah, I'm definitely interested to see, because I think there's gonna be a lot of 6th-gen Broncos there this year, and it was really cool to see all the different years and the previous generations. But you know,
And sadly, we didn't get to spend a lot of time because we were
No,
so
we
focused on the new one.
yeah, we were. But like Devin said, can Supercell handle that there will be double the attendance this year? And I do really think it's gonna be double. It might even be triple when it was, depending upon who comes in.
Well, you know, that was my first year, so I'm by far an expert there. But
Of course.
they had that big area in the back that they had was it the Bronco Olympics? Did you hear about that? Yeah,
We
so
didn't
they
get
had
to
a
see
big,
that.
yeah, they had a, you know, I guess so if this is for people who show up, maybe there's some type of course or whatever, but there's a lot of property back there. So I didn't get to see that. I was hanging out with the Bronco Nation. They were filming the top removal. I forget the guy's name with Bronco Nation. He has Early Nash.
Oh,
Bronco.
Yeah.
I'm drawing a
Nashville
blank.
Early Bronco.
Yeah,
But,
Nashville Early Bronco.
I took a picture for him and his family.
Yeah, and you text it to him.
And I didn't even realize that I can't think of his name.
I'm drawing a blank. But
I
yeah,
have connections to this guy all through my Facebook.
Yeah.
Friends of friends through him.
Well, he was a great guy. We met him.
We used to call
Yeah.
him plaid shirt guy. Yeah.
Yeah, the flannel. That's always the running joke is there's another flannel video, right? But hey.
Which by far to me, and I told David this at SEMA, I was like, by far that guy is my favorite presenter.
Yeah.
I get why Jordan and some of those guys are, I mean, they're obviously a part of the company that's promoting the vehicle, but I like the flannel dude. I don't know if it's just the Southern thing or what it is. He appeals to me.
Well, we met his family too, so because he had his whole family there and took a family picture for him and stuff like that too. So I mean, when you get those personalizations, there's a little bit more.
Well, and Gavin once in a while wears one of his hats. We bought some
nice.
stuff from him. We were there, and he wears the Nash Early Bronco. Yeah, he was a really cool guy, but I don't even know why I brought it up. I think we were looking at I know why. We didn't do a lot outside of that campfire area because we were hanging out watching that video. They were filming that for his channel, Bronco Nation. It was really cool, to see it. And it's going to be fun to see how people shoot their content. I mean, I watch your videos all the time. I haven't checked out the MPG one yet. I did see that dropped today, right? Yeah, so I haven't watched it yet. Had a late day. Still in
a late night,
right?
Late night, yeah. There I was sitting on the couch watching All Terrain Nation. But hey, no, I totally appreciate you asking me last minute. I had to turn on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lights, and there we are. So that's the fastest
you didn't even get
your
Bronco Wild light right next to you is not even on, man.
Yeah, look, what is up with that?
Dave,
How's my hair? Am I all right? It's a little late for that now.
I always tell Kelly about 30 minutes before, I'm like, we got to get you in hair and makeup. Let's
And I tell
let's
him
get ready.
my hair and makeup never shows up. I don't know what happens.
All
I
right,
don't
look,
get paid enough for this.
it's official.
There
The
you
lights
There
are
we
off.
go. I feel better now. Lone Wolf 1904 finally picked up his Bronco yesterday afternoon, and his wife is saying it's hers now.
You're welcome.
Guess I'll have to
Isn't-
buy another one for myself.
Isn't that how it works, right?
I think so.
Congratulations. Yeah, that's cool. Well, congratulations, and I'm sorry, all in the same sentence.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Panzer948 says, "Hi all. I want to go to Supercell this year. Remind me when and where it is. Time to put it on the calendar. Did Old Florida last weekend and was great meeting fellow owners. So Supercell is April 20th through 23rd in Townsend, Tennessee, which is just outside of Gatlinburg.
Mhm.
So we're actually
it's a-
staying in Townsend because it's a little too far from Gatlinburg.
and it's a like. Don't think
family
of it
event.
as an all weekend thing.
Mm-mm.
Go
Yeah.
there for a
Go as you
day,
may.
but take your family. If you bring your family with you, and they're like, "Dad, I don't want to go see the Broncos again,"
For mom.
Yeah, or mom, sorry. And let them go to Pigeon Forge. There's lots to do for families to do in the area. And go.
It's the time to go to Gatlinburg if
Yeah.
you've never been.
And I think, Dwayne, this year I think we'll see more in the future, but I think aftermarket is going to come to this event and really show out.
I think they will. And just like Carlisle, Pennsylvania, which we'll be at,
Mhm.
I think that was heavy on the aftermarket. But I do think that, Supercell East will be big. There was a lot of, you saw the aluminum bodies for the early Broncos there. The frames, they had rolling chassis. You could literally build a new early Bronco there.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have to have a donor for the VIN or whatever, but they literally had everything there to build one from the ground up.
Yeah.
I would imagine that the aftermarket for our new Broncos 21, 22 is the 6th generation. I can imagine what's going to be there for it. Right. Everything from stickers to different logos to wheels and drivetrain suspension parts and, engine stuff. I'm really want to have someone that's an expert on EcoBoost on our show to really help go through some of that, like oil catch can stuff and some of the tuning you can do and shouldn't do. I think that's going to be interesting, but we talked about it last night on our stream that, the Bronco is so capable from the factory. It's kind of like at some point, how much do? You just leave it alone and have fun with it. But then there's that customization part. You want to make it uniquely yours.
Yeah.
Whatever size tire, the wheels, the look, the sky's the limit.
Right.
Really
So Kelly's got up the Supercell. There is an event registration per Bronco, and I think that's for the show. If you want to be a part of the
From what I
show.
understand, from what I've read through it, is that you don't have to do this unless you want to be a part of the show. It says visitors parking on site is $10 per vehicle. We didn't pay.
I don't
anything
remember
to park
paying last year,
but we were also really late to it, so it's very possible. You can't sell parts on the show field, things like that. So just take a look at the website. Overlanding for Fun did put the website in.
It was down. They're doing drives and stuff too.
Yeah, so if you're interested in making an entire event, you can definitely go ahead and do that because they are doing a Windrock Day. You have to pre-sign up for that. So there's quite a bit of stuff on there.
I think they run up through the hills of Gatlinburg.
Yeah, they've got a bunch of different stuff. I want to say even Tail of the Dragon is on there, but I don't know how many Broncos would want to do the Tail of the Dragon.
I have zero interest in taking my Bronco down a curvy, windy road.
Yeah, and if you do have interest in going, be sure to get your reservations for your lodging ASAP. Whether
because I have seen people in the forums already like, hey,
hey, they're struggling.
Yeah,
we luckily got an Airbnb already. Luckily, Luke with Lifestyle Off-Road kept us honest and was like, hey, we need to go ahead and book this. And we were like, oh, hey, that's a good idea.
So you heard my story, right? The cabins just down the road. It's like a dancing bear or something like that.
Like a little, yeah.
It's like a great little cabins community. So I said, no problem. I'll book it around December. Well, guess what? A wedding party booked the entire place out right before us.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Are you kidding me? So it looks like, we're either, we have a real estate investor friend that has a place up there. If it frees up, it's up in the air. If it frees up, we're going to stay at a place
Nice.
heavily inhabited by bears. That's
Oh,
fun stuff. But if that doesn't work out, we'll be back over in Pigeon Forge, and I'll be next to my favorite restaurant, which I've said 1,000
I was going to
times.
say that. What was the barbecue place? Wasn't it?
Well, it's
Called
just
the
a
Goat.
restaurant in
Oh.
Local Goat.
yeah,
Local
Goat. That's right.
Highly recommend it, by the way. I'm actually going to see if the guy wants to jump onto a stream right before the event. I just want to have a party at your restaurant. Man, the place is awesome. So if I've
That's
got
one
to
place
stay
we
in
do need
Pigeon
to go.
Forge, then daggone
Oh.
it, I'm going to stay over there and eat good.
There you go. I don't blame you. I don't
Right.
blame you. Stay on the island. We had fun on the island.
Oh yeah, the Margaritaville thing. That was fun.
Yeah,
there.
we stayed at the Margaritaville Hotel. That was fun.
Yeah, because they have a pool on the
Not
roof.
the inn. It was the one that's actually
Yeah.
on the island itself, where you like stay in the rooms above the city.
Yeah.
City
wow.
essentially.
Yeah, that was
Super fun.
Yeah,
And
we
it
were
was
right
what-
by the Christmas something Christmas. It was decorated
Oh
for
yeah,
Christmas.
Yeah, that store.
Yeah.
My mom
Yeah.
loves that store.
Yeah, she does.
And the Starbucks there they had some strange hours.
Oh, I
You know,
love
we
me
went
some
through and they had a
Starbucks.
chair in the driveway or in the drive-through, and I think they were short-staffed at the time. But
Oh,
then
yeah.
every chance I got, I went there because coffee's great.
Of course.
But I think there's a coffee place right across from where Supercell's held.
It seemed like there was a little place
See,
there.
but I'm a Starbucks snob. Like
Pike Place. I like the Pike Place.
I
Good.
just for me, like there's a recipe to it and it
Yeah.
works.
This is
and
at
I like
10:30.
it,
This channel turns into
and-
Coffee Nation.
Yes.
It's coffee talk.
It
Yeah.
is coffee talk.
Coffee Nation.
That's right.
But as far as the Bronco stuff, we're getting back to that. We'll wrap it up because I'm looking at 5% on my laptop. And I
Uh-oh.
did this in such a hurry. I was like, "Where's my charger?" And my daughter's like,
That's
"I'm
all
not getting it for you." Supercell is going to be great. The between the early Broncos, the late model Broncos, and now the new Broncos, it's going to be really cool to see that blend and that mix in there. Oh Lord, Dave. So I'm getting ready to be joined by someone here,
Uh-oh.
so all of your people can see.
Uh-oh.
There she is.
Oh, there,
Oh, hi.
There's-
man! One of the early streams, like
Man.
Dwayne's cat just decided he was all over this disc.
Look, you're famous again. Look,
Just
but
like, I'm
sorry, I don't mean to totally crash your
No,
live
you're
stream with
fine,
a
you're
cat,
fine. You're
Mm-mm.
fine.
but my house turns like kind of crazy this time of the night. So,
totally get it.
but I appreciate you having me on
Of
and
course, of
talking
course,
to
man.
Bronco. When it comes to the top stuff, I can tell you that I like both of them. I'm really up in the air. I can't tell you which one I like better than the X. I mean, that's all there is to it.
Well, that's kind of awesome to hear, honestly.
It is awesome to hear.
There's pros and there's not even really cons to them. It's just
Different.
it's just a difference, right?
You know what
And,
you need to do? Get a DB meter and
Yes, please do that.
drive that.
Please do that because
and-
I'm so tired of hearing people say how significantly louder
Well,
the soft
pickup
top is.
truck and SUV talk. Jill
Yeah.
dropped a video today where she has a 2-door and she was complaining how loud it was, and their
And
mic
it's a
was
hard
just
top, I'm
crank.
assuming,
It,
because obviously.
yeah, it wasn't that loud.
So two Badlands separated by 1 year.
Mhm.
The difference mainly is the top.
Mhm.
And I can tell you without a doubt, the sound, it's not that much difference. I mean, but here's what I was saying. It was strange. The longer you drive, it seems that you have less of that, I don't know if you want to call it fatigue, but you have less sensory overload going on, right? Because you do hear more road noise with the soft top than the MIC, but it's not night and day.
The only thing I've noticed with our soft top is when you're at a light, you're like, did I leave a window open?
Yeah. Is there a door open? I'm
Yeah,
looking for
that's the only thing
yeah.
I've noticed.
I'm looking for
Yeah.
an alert to yell at me.
Yeah,
Well,
that's right.
Dwayne, we appreciate you jumping on last minute,
Thank you.
man.
Thank you.
Guys,
Thanks for having me.
Go see Dwayne and Gavin on Sunday nights. You guys do the live show on Sundays. I try to make it anytime my brain's active and says, "Hey, go watch TV." But I like what you guys do, man, and I like you're bringing the whole family involved in your channel, man. So that's a lot of fun. And we'll have to do a proper show here coming up.
For sure.
Well, let's do it. Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Well, guys, go. You don't have to. You
Bronco
guys
Wild
know,
Outdoors.
You guys know Dwayne's channel, Bronco Wild Outdoors. Go
There you
if
go.
you haven't yet. Go subscribe to it and tell them we sent you over there. All right, Dwayne.
Thanks,
David
Dwayne.
Kelly. Thanks. Nice seeing you.
Good
Bye.
to see you too.
Bye.
Have a good night. Bye-bye.
There you go.
We got starred.
I
We
know.
got some starred
wait,
comments.
I
We gotta
know.
go with
I
it.
know. We gotta. This is a long one for us, so You get
Mama's
Dwayne.
getting
You get
tired.
Dwayne on the show, and Dwayne's a talker,
Yes.
and he always has some good, especially with the engine stuff, because I don't care to dig into that like he does. So I like to listen when he digs into that stuff.
So we're going all the way back.
Yeah, sorry if you're not in the chat.
So Mobile Moto, if you're still here, not necessarily more of either, just half as much interview. So
that
some
was
good,
to
some well.
the question, the
That
poll.
was that was the question
which
for the
is
poll.
Where is
I don't know
our
where it is.
Facebook? I put
I
the
don't know.
poll. I put the poll in our Facebook. You won't find it up in this.
Oh, well.
Sorry.
We'll come back to that then. And Eric Jefferson, welcome to membership. Thank you so much.
And after 2 months, we have them on order, so we have some
Yes.
due. But you get a cool little
Lanyard.
lanyard.
And we're working on exclusive content for members.
Do you have your fob over there that I brought you
Yes, it's still on the table.
on your desk?
In Overlanding for Fun asked, is Kelly, or are you calling Kelly an ice queen?
I didn't call Kelly anything. Oh.
And Jason Boyd says, what kind of shot is that? Must have been a low.
I don't know. Guys, I'm sure you guys have seen these, but these are out now. I can't remember. What's the company's name?
I don't know.
Goat Links, I believe is what they're called. It's goatlinkstore.com. I've bought these for the Jeeps, and I bugged them about it a couple months ago, and they said they were coming. They have a painted grill with the white Bronco, and then they had the base style keychains. I like having, it's kind of fun having a keychain, so when you grab it out of the dish, you're like, oh, there's the
Mine are
Bronco.
all on the same thing, so it doesn't matter to me. But
anyways, they weren't very expensive, and I thought we're not, trust me, we're not sponsored by these guys.
We're not sponsored by
I
anybody.
didn't get a free keychain, but I like it, and if I like it, I want to share it.
Terrence Mooney says Danny still owes me a beer, which I know he's already
Terrence,
gone.
I know you're not here. I'm gonna bug. Hey, go over to
DeGroot X.
Yes, DAGROOTX. Danny dropped a video of him out in the dunes yesterday, and he's got his race truck driving, and it's pretty cool.
Mobile Moto says Kelly's brought Dave out of his shell.
I'm shell shocked
because we were talking about how much you were traveling now comparatively. Mobile Moto asked what Dave was drinking, which I already answered in the chat, but he is drinking Bullet tonight. Bullet Bourbon Blenders Select.
Yep. Black Label. Very good. I gotta find some new whiskeys, guys. Next show, we gotta turn me on to some new
What
stuff.
about the ones I got you for Christmas?
I've been working on those.
Okay.
They're smaller bottles, so I want to I don't want to just plow through.
Well, I got you smaller bottles so you could try multiple.
Right.
Jason says a guy on Reddit posted a pic he ordered in January 2022, got a VIN mid-January, and Bronco delivered on February 3rd with a hardtop.
Jay,
we're still working on it.
We're working on. I can't figure how to wrap my head around the story that I want to tell with this, and I don't know. I've been struggling with how to tell that story.
For one, it's hard to get the data for it. So that's something I'm struggling with, how to collect the data, because it's not something Ford's just going to give out because they don't. So it's going to have to be a grassroots, us collect the data. So getting enough data to be able to tell the story is the challenge we're running into right now. I've got an idea of how to collect it, but that could also be a little biased on how we collect the data too. So it's kind of it's a tough thing we're running into right now to kind of provide the data that can give you guys the answers we're hoping to be able to
maybe
give.
Not even answers, just tell the story.
Well, that's what I'm saying, giving the answers and the story of what happened.
What did Mobile say there, Bullet?
Mobile Moto just said the Bullet is a brand of whiskey straight from bourbon whiskey produced at the Bullet Distillery in Kentucky. We're going to have to go there sometime. I don't like whiskey.
I literally have Jack
go
Daniels 20 minutes from our house here.
And
I've never been. Ever. That might be a fun Bronco video.
I told you we could go.
Kelly's been when we met each other.
Yeah, we were dating at the time. That was before text messaging was free.
Yes.
And I actually got in a lot of trouble for
$200
running up the $200 phone bill.
Then I put her on my plan and she never left me since.
Nope.
See,
that's how you get me.
guys, ladies. If you
That's how
want to
you get
keep
the
your
ladies.
significant, you just put them on your data plan.
I don't know that these days people are like, you want to put me on your phone plan?
Greg says need to find some good grab handles. There's some out there,
And there's a challenge with that.
I'm not. You have airbags up there, Greg, and I'm not a fan of. I know how the airbags operate,
Mhm.
and they come from below. The tag would be up on the top of the bar. I don't want anything messing. If I need those airbags, which our buddy Dr. Detroit was in an accident, and all
Does
of
he
his
want everybody to know that?
well, they know now, and all of his airbags deployed, and I just come back to that and I think about that, and they weren't injured, but there was slight injuries to that accident.
Mhm.
I just
Can't
wouldn't
hear
want
you, you need to
anything.
talk straight in.
I just wouldn't want anything to
Mhm.
screw that up. But I'm sure they're safe. I think Bad X Bronco or something has some goofy ones that he's charging $45 per.
Mhm.
But there's a lot cheaper options.
Honest says it's Kelly's Bronco. Just figured I'd include that for you.
All right. Hopefully Jody.
It was on Facebook, so. Overlanding for fun. Tim says, in Alteration Nation or All Terrain Nations video
Name?
at 148, David admits once again that it's Kelly's Bronco.
Tim, you stop stirring up trouble. And if you haven't yet, we dropped a video today, and it's not a miles per gallon video per se.
No,
we got ridiculous numbers in our Bronco, ridiculous numbers in it, but it was showing. Does the is there a difference between eco and standard driving modes? And we prove in this video there is a difference. I mean,
we won't tell you which way it goes.
Yes, that we'd run a 40-mile loop. It's mostly easy driving. We never get over 60 miles an hour, so the numbers are always crazy. But it does prove there is a difference between eco and
we
standard.
are comparing apples to apples on that because we did use the same driver. We did all of that fun stuff.
Try to keep
same.
I think we were 1 mile different on the average speed.
Yeah, and on the first drive, we actually had a guy in front of us slow us down, and then we had to be that guy the second round so that we could be as consistent as possible.
Omnipotent, I challenged Dave to actually sleep in the Bronco, like he said. That's coming. We're in winter, and I'm not sleeping out in the winter.
Remember, guys, when he said he would do it regardless of the weather?
No,
I remember that.
I did not say.
I remember that conversation.
You're fired.
Oh, guys, can they fire me?
It is coming.
Can he fire me?
We got warm weather coming, so.
Cole had actually already talked about this one, so we can skip that. We can skip those, and then we can go back.
Well, there we go.
Yes, Super Bowl. We are super excited. So our Florida trip actually got changed because we are coming back for Super Bowl.
I felt bad. I dropped the video of me damn near crying when my Bengals won the game to go to the Super Bowl. And I put it on here because you guys are such family with the channel. And I thought they know I'm a huge Bengals fan. And
you lost 3 subs on it?
Yes. Somehow which I don't care. But they'll be back. But anyways, yeah, I'm super pumped for this week. So we were supposed to be in Florida till Sunday. And as soon as we won that game, Kelly looked at me and said, "We're going to have to come back Saturday night, aren't we?" And I was like, "You're damn right we are."
See, because here's the thing. I had to plan for it because I knew that he hadn't even thought about the fact that we were gone that weekend.
Oh, yeah. See? Jay knows.
Wow. Wow, Jay. Wow.
I'm sure he's just repeating
what
I did. We've got good shows coming up. We've got Back Road, is it Driver, I believe, is the guys in 2 weeks. Next week is Valentine's Day, and me and Kelly will celebrate Valentine's Day a little bit with you guys and gals and ladies. But
it's just another day
I promise there might be some roses. It might be romantic of sorts.
I'm not supposed to say anything.
I'll dim the lights a little.
No, you won't.
No, probably not. But we will be on definitely next week, and then Back Road Driver, and then potentially Bronco Nation, somebody from Bronco Nation. And I've reached out to a couple other people. Oh, the 24th. I just put it in my calendar. Sorry, guys. I want to get this out.
Matt Porter says, does anyone else have a JBL sound bar from Ford? I'm thinking about selling mine because I didn't think about it, possibly keeping the doors from being stored in the back.
Wait, I'm not. I sadly I didn't ever want that. Like it just blocks the view.
Yeah, for us it was cutting too much of the vision.
Trail Cartel, who Dwayne had on his show last week, will be on our show February 28th, I believe. That's the right date. So I've reached out to several others. Guys, if there's somebody you want on the show, tag them in our videos or email them, let us know, and email us, and we'll try to have them on.
Bronco 78 says, oh man, here comes the OnlyFans edition next week. And then M says, it's not that kind of show. No,
George
it's not.
Lucas. Yeah, I'm going to get Star Wars guy on here. The Millennium Bronco. Let's see. Let's see. After watching your video today, I reset my MPGs and got 19.8 on a 20-mile drive home with a mix of freeway and city driving on Eco. We'll see how normal.
Yes, please keep us posted.
Normal does tomorrow. Evolved. Have you been drinking?
Because we don't drink on the show.
No, not at all. So there.
Bart Hardy says, I have all kinds of parts waiting to add. Anyone add the Crutchfield rear view mirror?
I have a lot of stuff and just haven't had the time to do it, honestly, because for us to do it, there's video involved. And believe me, it took 30 minutes to put the 67 bar in there. And I think we could have done that in 10 minutes. Like nothing to that. And so there you go, guys.
Bart Hardy says, hi guys, my Bronco is on Ice Mountain. I'm sorry.
Well, here's the cool thing about
at least it's on Ice Mountain.
Yes, if you got a build, this sucks. It's February though. Guess what? Even if it takes a month and a half, you're going to get your Bronco right when the warm weather hits or warmer weather is hitting.
That's true.
And so but wait, there's Matt. Matt says, come visit me and get your tattoos. I'll take you on some good distilleries. That's going to happen, by the way. Anything else there, Kelly?
Hold on, I'm looking.
Oh, we're talking about
we got
A
buried
cars.
when we were answering questions.
Oh. Uncle Carl's, Dave. I don't know what Uncle Carl's is, as long as it's whiskey.
I'm assuming it's whiskey or bourbon.
Right. Uncle Carl's sounds like it's a rapey whiskey of some
wow,
sort.
did you just say that?
It's like it's so backwoods of of the hills that I don't know. That's their slogan. We're not rapey.
Evolved Tactical says, I've been hitting some local trails in my Ford or Badlands looking for some camping in the rig. Has anyone come up with a solution yet for sleeping in the back of the Bronco with the seats folded? So one of Ashley Gill in Bronco Babes actually has a toddler bed in that she's using on her trip right now. She's got a 2-door, but she's got a toddler bed in the back part where it just kind of lips.
I've seen it.
And she says it's super comfortable. So something to think about. And I actually told her, I was like, I knew there was a reason why I was keeping our daughter's toddler bed that we've had for the last 10 years.
Lone Wolf, Dave, do you like scotch? I'm not I've drank some that I like, and then I've drank some that was expensive that I didn't like. So
and thank you for that super chat.
Yes, and thank you, sir, for that. Couple more. We got time for a couple more. Let's see. All Terrain Nation's OG Jack Daniels recipe, pure cane sugar made with
original casks from the cask maker.
That's cool. Yeah, I'll have to try that.
I did have. What did I get you? So for Christmas, I got him a tasting thing.
The single barrel Jack, which I already had and I love.
Single barrel Jack, but you had bought that after I had bought you that. You just didn't know it,
right?
And then I got you the Kentucky something, Old Kentucky or something.
I don't remember.
And then there was the Curators,
the Chattanooga one.
Oh, I got you the Curators something, which is supposedly a Jack Daniels guy, and he said it tasted.
It was really good.
A lot like Jack Daniels.
Yep.
And then there was something else I got you. I don't remember. The guy was surprised all the ones I was buying though. He was kind of like, "Well, there's this one."
And speaking of, we have a PO box on the I've changed the description of the videos, so I've had a few people asking about the memberships and stuff. Hopefully, it's simpler for people to find the links of that if you're interested. PO Box. Kelly checks it at least once a week. I think
PO
we
Box
try to-
356, Rockvale, Tennessee 37153.
Kelly tries to check that once a week, and
I do try to.
After that, I'm about I've chatted out. I want to say thank you to
Yes.
Bird Dog. Bird Dog Overland. I wanted to say Blind Dog again so bad.
Jody.
Yes, Jody
Bird Dog.
for being on tonight. That was a fun interview, guys. Please go check his channel out, man. I really do like helping channels cross that 1,000 sub threshold, which is it's believe it or not, it's super hard to do. And I like to see good people excel. So Kelly's over there having to remove some oh, Kelly, do you like rum? Cigar Texan asks.
I like rum in pina coladas.
So no, she doesn't like rum.
Or when strawberry daiquiris. So I don't like it as a shooter. So if that helps.
We are basically in bourbon land. Yes, that is very true.
The YouTube subscriber Rubicon.
What are we talking
Momomoto
about?
says?
Supercar Blondie.
I don't know.
I don't know. Did we? Yeah, you removed that, didn't you?
Yeah, I removed that one.
Well. All right. Go Bengals. Thank you so much. We'll find out.
Root for our Bengals on Sunday.
Yes. Well, they root for who they want. Wow. See how she's controlling? Like, I'm going to get beat for this. But
oh, yes.
See how she's
so
controlling?
abused. You know, everybody could tell how much concealer you needed on your eye. Somebody actually mentioned you needed more concealer tonight. It
That's
was not
right.
covering your black eye
That's
very
right.
well.
Woodford's Reserve is really good. So whether it be 2-wheel drive,
4-wheel drive,
it does not matter what you drive because this has been your all-terrain nation. And what are we, Kelly?
We're out.
We're out. Peace, everybody. Hoo day. We'll find out next Sunday.
See what you did?
I know. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-bum.